What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the BallGame podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Tom.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Dean.
Take two. You guys are now not going to see the original version of this because that is in the shadow realm thanks to this guy right here. But what a week two it was. We had some unexpected, absolute bangers of a game, and we had some primetime snooze fests where I would have rather done anything except for watch the game. Tonight, we have two Monday Night Football games, one going on at the current moment and another coming on just a little bit later. How nice of you, NFL, to put a 10 o'clock Eastern time game. We really appreciate that here on the East Coast. I will be so deep into my sleep by the time that fourth quarter hits, so very excited for that one.
Yeah.
So week two was quite a fun one. What are some immediate thoughts as to what week two was like?
It was electrifying for the most part. I mean, that Sunday night snooze fest was a letdown, but we had some great games, man. I mean, the Cowboys, Giants, who the hell thought that was going to score a million points like it did? The Broncos and the Colts ended in dramatic fashion. The Panthers almost had a comeback. It was a great week of football, man. I was entertained for sure.
Yeah, that Giant Cowboys game, it was no Bills-Ravens, but it was pretty up there for one of the better games I've ever seen in my life. Like, I was pretty impressed from both sides. The Giants, we'll talk about it, but looked a lot better than I thought they would have been. That Sunday night snooze fest was terrible.
Yeah, it really put a damper on things.
J.J. McCarthy stinks.
Yeah.
He is garbage.
Yeah.
I'm sure Chris is victory lapping.
It's somewhere there.
Will be victory lapping.
Yeah.
Has victory lapped.
How do you know that?
Yo, I saw the future, bro. I saw 12 minutes and however many seconds into the future to know that Chris completely takes a victory lap on us.
It's not even a victory lap. It's a lap of just utter shock and disbelief because I can't even say it again.
Yeah, you can't even do it again.
I thought J.J. McCarthy was supposed to be good. That's what I was told, and I was told the Falcons' defense sucks. That's what I was told. And the game I watched was the complete opposite. I felt like I was in a dream.
Yeah, dream for Chris and an absolute nightmare for me. A lot went wrong last night. And the Falcons defense, Chris, I'll give you your credit. You were very right about the Falcons defense. They drafted a couple pass rushers, and a lot of these guys have made immediate impact, and they just look completely different. It looks like Raheem Morris finally has his system in place that's, working to the fullest effect. It's just the other side of the ball is still a work in progress. I mean, they have an absolute stud in Bijan Robinson. Well, actually, back to Bijan
confirmation
now.
on that, yeah.
More confirmation on back to Bijan.
So I've seen two clips. He says it both ways. Like, in training camp, I saw the clip where he corrected people. He was like, actually, it's Bijan. But then on Sunday Night Football, he says, I'm Bijan Robinson.
University of Texas.
No, Chris Collinsworth said that. Like, he said he likes Bijan better.
Yes.
That's what I said in the chat today. His name is Bijan. Chris Collinsworth said, like, his family members, his mother must be really annoyed at him. I mean, he's making millions of dollars on brand deals off being Bijan. So we can't change it now.
Bijan.
You got it here, yeah.
But it really is the Jeff Ulbrich effect. That Falcons defense looks great. I mean, we saw what he's done, obviously with the help of Rob Saleh. They're also doing good in San Francisco, but the both of them together now separate, both of those defenses are really good. Exactly what we saw with the Jets the last few years. Elite up front and great defense all around. We see that with the Falcons now, which they haven't seen in years. I don't even know how long it's been since they've had a good defense. Probably since the Matt Ryan prime days. It's been a really long time. And they now have an upper top 10 defensive front that looks like. I mean, I know the Vikings had a couple guys out, but the front looked really, really good.
No, it's deep too. Very deep. And It's shocking as to how well it's come together and how quickly it's come together. Yeah, your guy Jeff Ulbrich, former Jet over here, he's been phenomenal. He's really been awesome for the Falcons, and I don't know if it's that they've faced two offenses that are going to go through their early season struggles or if they're legit. And I think A.J. Terrell went down last night too, and they were still cooking, and it's just like they weren't missing a beat. So Falcons got something interesting over there, but Michael Penix's football is not the most entertaining football to watch.
It's just not.
No, I thought it was very interesting too. They kept alluding on the broadcast to Jeff Ulbrich, and kind of his staple has been, when he was in San Fran and the past few years with the Jets, his staple has been just rushing 4 and depending on your 4-man pass rush. But with this, and they said that, he said in his interviews, like, this team doesn't have a staple guy up front. They don't have a guy who's penciled in to get 15, 16 sacks. So his philosophy of just rushing 4 and dropping everyone back doesn't really work with this unit, and he had to get creative. And you saw it last night a lot of times where they put 5 guys up on the line and got their guys, James Pierce, Jalen Walker, all those guys in one-on-one situations, and they took advantage. So I thought it was very interesting how Jeff Ulbrich, who's a guy who's been around, it seems like basically forever at this point, is kind of changing his philosophy and adjusting to his unit, and it's paid dividends for them through 2 weeks. I've been very, very impressed.
What was it last night? 6 sacks?
6 sacks, yeah. They're
6 or 7.
4th in the NFL through 3 weeks in pressure percent. So
Sheesh.
Yeah, they were balling last night, man.
No, they're going at it right now. But I'll tell you right now, there are some teams in the NFL that are absolutely not balling, not in the slightest bit. And so we're going to introduce you guys to our NFL Panic Meter. And it's only week 2, so we're going to test the levels here. We're going to see where we're all at with some teams that are 0-2 and other teams that are just struggling or going through the motions at the current moment. So the first team that I want to talk about, a reigning AFC representative in the Super Bowl, now 0-2, the GOAT squad, the Kansas City Chiefs. What's the panic meter for the Chiefs, Chris? Get us started.
probably like a 3. I'm not really too worried. They lost to 2 teams that I think are Super Bowl contenders. I think Pat Mahomes has been pretty spectacular through 2 weeks, honestly. They're going to get their guys back. It's Steve Spagnuolo. His defenses typically don't always start out the hottest and get better as the season goes on. Like, the Chiefs for the entire Patrick Mahomes era have gotten better as the season goes on. Obviously, it's not ideal being 0-2, but they're fine.
Yeah, I agree. I'm at like a 2 or a 3. I think there are some cause for concern. I mean, Travis Kelce is just he's just not himself. I mean, he's still good at something he's been great at his whole career, which is finding spots, getting to them, and waiting for the ball to come to him. He can still get there. It's just he doesn't do it as quickly, and he's not as fast as he once was. He's just not as athletic as he once was. So he's still a solid pass catcher, and he can't block for shit anymore. His blocking in the Eagles game was terrible. He let a bunch of guys go right by him and get to Mahomes, which he hasn't been, George Kittle in terms of blocking, but it was bad for him the other day.
He's basically like a slow big slot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Basically.
that can't block.
You know what,
Yeah,
guys? Cut him
pretty
some
much.
slack. He's planning a wedding. You
Yeah.
know a thing or two.
Yeah, he's
about
definitely
that.
planning that wedding.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, he's definitely planning it. Taylor Swift isn't planning the whole thing. He's definitely got a part of it. But Pat Mahomes can't be your best rusher through 2 games. He's in both games. He's been their best rusher. Hunt and Pacheco just have been okay, but not very good.
No, they've been bad.
Yeah,
Straight up.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, they have been pretty bad actually. But Pat has been really good running the ball, and like you said, he's been doing some spectacular things. He's been putting this team on his back. Their run defense has been great, and compared to week one versus week 2, their pass coverage was night and day on defense. So like you said, it's Spags. He's one of, if not the greatest of all time. He'll get it figured out. I'm not too worried about this team. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be a contender, and maybe even be in the Super Bowl. I still believe that's possible.
So what number you put on it?
I'll say a 3 as well.
3. What was that stat you brought up last week, Tom? Teams that start 0-2, they drop their playoff percentage goes down to like 11% chance.
Since 1990.
There's exceptions to every rule.
There's still the 11%, but I think it would be silly to not have a little panic in you. I think I sit around like a
Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say around a 6.
Or
No. That's generally what I think. A 6. I think it's worrisome that the Chiefs started like this, and yes, I think the Chargers are good. I think the Chiefs should have won that game. I think the Chiefs should be better at this stage. Like, you have the best quarterback in the league. I know Justin Herbert's really good, but, you know, you can't get off to these slow starts, especially when you have teams in your division like the Denver Broncos, who could easily overtake that division that you've held so tightly for the last however many years. It's going to be a tough road ahead. It doesn't necessarily get easier. You know, I know you get your pass catchers back in a couple weeks in Worthy and Rice, but the defense hasn't looked as good as it has in the past. You know, I just
thought they played a good defense.
They played a great game against the Eagles, in my personal opinion. I thought they had a great defensive game against the Eagles.
And that was kind of, listen, I know they played a good game, but I think that's kind of the problem, that they bottled Jalen Hurts up and they still lost.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Game.
But you don't think with added I think so. Obviously, this week.
At home, might I add. They were in Arrowhead. They let the team that just beat them in the beat the brakes off them in the Super Bowl come in and beat them. I think that's, in terms of morale, like, that's gotta hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, but you talent-wise, you're overmatched. Realistically, talent-wise, you are overmatched. And Pat Mahomes shouldn't have to shoulder everything he's shouldered to this point. Granted, he is Patrick Mahomes, and he can do it. Next week, you get a little bit of a reprieve. I hate to say it, but you do. Against the Giants. You probably, if they lose that game.
I thought you had the Giants winning that
I
game.
did, but it seems like 0-2. I know, I said it on multiple occasions on camera, but theoretically, they should win that game. Am I wrong? They should win that game.
Agree, yeah.
They lose that game, we could sound the alarms. You could start sounding the alarms. You're starting 0-3. You lost that, and you still have a bunch more divisional matchups to go.
So this is a must-win.
This is kind of a must-win for
Absolutely.
Kansas City. Yeah, you start off 0-3, you're
Cooked.
NFL schedule makers helped them out, though, giving them a must-win game against the Giants. Doesn't get much easier than that.
Doesn't get much easier.
No, it shouldn't, theoretically, because then after that, guess who they play? The Ravens.
Which could very easily, probably will be a loss. Like, that's also what I'm saying, that the schedule doesn't do many favor. Like, 1-3 Chiefs sounds pretty terrible. That sounds like we will be, if not now, in 2 weeks, we'll be sounding the panic alarms on this Chiefs team.
Or they could win both, and we'll say they're fine.
The Chiefs are still.
Or they could go 1-3 and win 6 in a row. Like
they still could absolutely do that. I think the problem really comes if you do lose this Giants game.
Yeah.
You lose this Giants game, and then you're rolling into a Ravens game 0-3. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say at that point going forward. But
yeah, I guess at any point, if you lose to the Giants, it's really, hit the panic meter time.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So you're at a 6.
6, yeah.
I'm at a 1. I'm not concerned. I have zero concern for the Kansas City Chiefs, as much as I would like to come up here and be like, oh, told you they weren't going to be the same. They're still the Kansas City Chiefs. Xavier Worthy got hurt in a freak accident with Travis Kelce. He'll be back apparently by week 3. And then Rashee Rice in a few more weeks after that. I think the offensive line is only going to get better as the season progresses. That seems to be the case all the time with these Patrick Mahomes-led teams. And it's young in general. As you said, Spags is great. I don't expect anything less down the stretch of the season. They'll be just fine. Only concern is I don't necessarily think they're going to win the division. That's it. They could still get into the playoffs, and then from there anything can happen. But I don't necessarily think they're going to win the division. So should that be cause for panic? I don't know. Probably not. You get Mahomes in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to win the division, not have to, play one of the top dogs as a wild card team. But I still think they're going to win the division. I don't know, especially if if the Raiders win tonight, which could happen. I mean, they're at home. It's Pete Carroll's 74th birthday. They ain't losing on his birthday.
74th birthday. Wow.
Yeah. But
Facts.
no, I mean, if the Raiders do win tonight, then everyone in the division's 1-1, and then the Chiefs are 0-2. So
No, the
Raiders would be 2-0.
Oh, 2-0. I'm sorry.
But
Yeah,
I
okay.
think if there's any team you want to be 2-0 if you're the Chiefs at this point, it's probably the Raiders.
Yeah.
Even though, Pete Carroll coached team, they got a shot. But, hey, man, I don't know. We'll see
I'm
what
excited,
happens.
man. You give my GOAT some adversity for the first time in his career. Let's see how he responds.
Amen.
Exactly. So from one team that you guys, or at least we as a collective for the most part, had no concern about, there's another team in Chicago that we are going to have probably all the concern ever about. And they just lost 52-21. It was an embarrassing performance against a team that they should have came out motivated, where their head coach came straight from the Detroit Lions and then got an ass whooping from that same team. The Chicago Bears, fellas. Dean, get us started. What's your panic meter for the Bears?
I'm sitting at an 8. I mean, last week our concern was all about the offense and Caleb Williams, and then they let by 50 points. I know it's the Lions, but we sat up here. We were concerned about the Lions' offense last week and how vanilla it looked, and maybe they were just saving their tricks for this Bears game to unleash it against Ben Johnson, which is what it seems like. Amon-Ra had a sick game, 3 touchdowns. Like, it doesn't really get much. It doesn't get better than 50 points for the Lions. I mean, Caleb Williams just looks lost, confused, not like he's ready to be an NFL quarterback, which is crazy because he was one of the more higher touted prospects coming in. I mean, at what point do we call Caleb Williams a bust? Like, the first couple games have not been kind to him. Ben Johnson, you haven't really seen the real effects of him stepping in yet. I mean, I'm pretty concerned about this Bears team. They don't look an ounce better than they have the past couple of years.
No, I agree. I'm also at an 8. The defense has looked atrocious. I mean, the talk of the offseason was the offense because they drafted Loveland with their first-round pick. They brought in Ben Johnson, revamped the offensive line that everyone just kind of assumed the defense would just do its thing, and it hasn't. And now Jalen Johnson, your top corner, he's out indefinitely, so it doesn't appear to be getting better from there. And like you said, Caleb, just the natural talent is there, and the flashes are there, but the things he struggled with, I feel he just hasn't really improved upon all that much. Like, still holding on to the ball. He's still trying to do too much in terms of get out of the pocket. And we said it last week. He looks like he's running. He's just waiting to escape and run for his life, basically. But it's real bad for the Bears. And like we mentioned before, the Chiefs are 0-2. We expect them to bounce back. But this team gets off to a slow start with a new head coach, new regime. It's not going to be easy for them. And the Vikings and the Lions, these are the teams you're going to have to beat. They're going to play these guys again. So I'd be real worried if I was a Bears fan.
And they haven't even touched the Packers.
Right.
They play in a crazy tough division. Like you start off 0-2. I mean, you're just at a crazy disadvantage playing in the division that they play in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought for the most part Caleb was honestly fine yesterday. He had an interception to Kirby Joseph, which was bad, but your defense lets up 52 points. You really have no chance. I don't really think this was really a indictment on Caleb. Honestly, I thought he played better than he did last week. Honestly, I mean, 19 for 30 isn't pretty, but it was pretty bad last week down the stretch too. I mean, I agree that we should be concerned about Caleb Williams going forward. Is he a bust? It's been a pretty horrific start to his career, given he was touted as a generational prospect. Just this game in particular, I mean, their defense was just Swiss cheese. You let up 52 points, you can't really blame the loss on the quarterback.
Right.
You know what I mean? Jalen Johnson's going to miss extended time now, too. Tyreek Stevenson's allowing the highest passer rating on targeted balls amongst all corners, so
Nice.
That's not ideal.
Promising. Surely promising.
I mean, I guess my panic meter doesn't really change that much compared to where I was at last week. I guess we all didn't expect, because I think you picked the Bears.
I did.
You picked the Bears.
I did pick the Bears.
We picked the
I picked the
Lions.
Lions,
Yeah. I mean, I expected the Lions to go in there and dog walk them.
Yep.
So, I wasn't really surprised by this game. But, I mean, overall, this isn't the Chiefs starting 0-2. Your back is against the wall 11%. Playoffs are basically out of the cards for them. They're probably going to finish 4th in the division. So, yeah, I mean, the concern level, the panic meter's at an 8, 9.
Yeah.
Right. They kind of needed a fast start for us to be convinced and to come out, that week 1 was pretty bad because they were up most of that game. They needed to finish that game because 1-1 you get slapped by the Lions. Okay, you get slapped by the Lions, but you start 0-2 and you gave up a fourth quarter lead in the first game. It's a lot different. This is not even close to what I think a playoff team should be in the NFC right now.
Yeah, you want to talk about basically 2 soul crushing losses. I mean, like you said, in week 1, you were the better team for 3 quarters, and then you let the game slip. All right, let's move on to the next week. Now, this is the one that we should all have circled on our calendars. We want to go there. We want to show that Ben Johnson wants to show that you guys need me, whatever the motive is there, but you should be motivated to win this game. And they got, again, the absolute break speed off them in embarrassing fashion. Like, in terms of a gut punch, in terms of morale, it doesn't get worse than that.
Not even remotely close.
Yeah.
And I know the coaches said that the storylines probably don't mean too much, and whatever they don't look into it, it matters. I think Dan Campbell
The
definitely.
Lions didn't feel that way.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
I think Dan Campbell definitely
Yeah.
had some stuff to prove that he didn't need Ben Johnson by his side to still be a successful offense. I mean, you put up 50 points in the NFL against anybody. That's it's an insane day.
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think this is better for them in the long run because they had a lot of lofty as they did last year too.
Yes.
A lot of lofty expectations. People were putting them in playoff conversations that they probably had no business being in anyway, being in that tough NFC North. Let's shift the focus a little bit. Let's call it what it should have been in the first place. New head coach, quarterback who had a rough first season. Let's call it a developmental year. Let's just focus on development. Obviously, you want to win games because that'll help the confidence and help the guys develop. But let's call it what it is. Let's, temper the expectations a little bit and just focus on, building these young guys' confidence. So, I think it's better in the long run that they got off 2-0
Sure.
to start, and the expectations are shifted down a little bit for them.
I like that take.
So they were never able to reach those crazy expectations to begin with, so might as well just rip the Band-Aid off.
Right.
Get to
I mean, Nick Wright had these guys in the Super Bowl last year.
Year, bro. Oh my God. Yeah, it's
Crazy.
My one big fear for this team is I know Ben Johnson isn't going to get fired. So theoretically that should mean that Ryan Poles isn't going to get fired, but it's just been consistent misery. Do they consider Ryan Poles being canned? Is that a real thought that
we're in
we
week
should
2, and
be?
you face the Lions, who have
Agreed.
one of the better offenses we've seen in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I'm just saying if this continues, you probably can't can a general manager and then force a head coach on the new guy that you bring in.
Right.
But he's been here for a little while now, and it's just everything's backfired. Every single thing has backfired.
I mean, you invest the 10th overall pick in a second rounder, Luther Burden, and you really don't see much usage out of either so far
None.
in both games.
Yeah.
None.
Which is weird to see. I know rookies are rookies, and they usually, take a little bit of time. But the 10th overall picks,
There was no reason to draft Luther Burden, if we're being honest.
I mean,
there's no reason to take Loveland with the 10th overall pick, if we're being honest either.
Look at the Colts building their offense around
I was
Tyler Warren.
about to say that. What just compiles on top of it is the fact that Tyler Warren looks like a demon.
Right.
Looks amazing.
And if you got the Caleb thing wrong with Jaden Daniels being out there, being who he is, and if Drake May comes, that damns you.
Yeah.
You're cooked. Yeah. So my panic meter for the Chicago Bears is probably at a 9. And I don't know how much better it gets. I mean, you should probably give it till midseason to see if, the Ben Johnson stuff can start working out and if he could actually get through to Caleb. I mean, once again, Caleb over 3 seconds in terms of his time to throw. And it just, in Ben Johnson's offense, it's drop back, take your 3 steps, take your 5 steps, and get rid of the football on time and accurate. Jared Goff fit it so perfectly because he was able to operate within the structure. Caleb just, you would hope throughout the season that Ben Johnson can coach that into him, but I don't know, man. We'll see what happens with them. So, but speaking of people potentially losing their jobs, going on to the next team that is also now 0-2, and in a game that they led for much of it, the Miami Dolphins may very well be firing Mike McDaniel very soon. It seems like it's on the horizon. The vibes are off. Tua's in his press conferences telling Tyreek, I'm not throwing that ball 80 yards. You better wait for it. And things do not look good.
He said that?
Yep.
Actually?
Not word for word, but he basically said.
No, that's exactly what
Pretty much what he said, yeah.
yeah.
He said,
He
it was,
essentially told him, I can't throw the ball 80 yards. There are going to be times where you're going to have to
you're gonna have to track the ball while
Is
you're
that
running.
in response to anything Tyreek said?
I
mean,
think
Tyreek's
because
been
Tyreek
making
was
comments.
bugging out because
bugging on the sidelines and stuff.
he missed him on a curl route, and Tua just sailed it over his head, and Tyreek was literally jumping up and down on the field in frustration. So I'm assuming they asked him about that.
Wow.
Yeah, it ain't looking too good.
Yeah.
It definitely ain't looking too good in Miami. And This one may be the first team to scratch the 10. So, Tom, I'll let you get us started. Where's your panic meter on the Miami Dolphins?
It is all the way at a 10. It's all the way cranked up, that thing. This is bad. This is it's like a train wreck. Like you just can't take your eyes off it. I mean, Mike McDaniel in the game in the post-game interview, he said something like I got you to win football games, you got to not lose them. Like that was, I'm trying to find the quote, but I can't. Like that was pretty much what he said, and this is he got the love he did because of his personality and all, and he seems miserable. He seems like he knows his days are numbered, and it's real bad. And then you add on the Tyreek stuff that I get he should be traded. Tua, man, you got to feel bad for the guy. Like I hate to kick a guy while he's down, but you had all the concussion stuff happen with him last year, and some people were begging him to retire, and then whether you agree with his decision or not, you got to respect his commitment to his craft and to the game. And he comes back, and then after the week 1 loss, you lost to a team that hasn't won a season opener in 13 years. You made Daniel Jones get Peyton Manning comparisons, and
which may be true at this point.
I guess so, but
And you gave him the greatest nickname of all time.
Indiana Jones.
While doing it,
That's
yeah.
awesome. But then the next week, like if there's ever a time for you to come out with a fire lit under you, like it's this week. And they were in this game till the end, and then they get the ball into his hands, lead us down the field, get us back in this game, get us a lead. And what does he do? He throws one of the worst passes I've ever seen in my life, ends up right in the Patriots' hands and seals the game. Yeah, it's brutal in Miami. Chris, I got to hear you. I mean, I know you had an all-time rant last week, but
I mean, the offense looked better than it looked last week. The defense is the worst ever. Like, I guess Tua had a chance to go down and win it, and he folded, but
He was pretty good. He wasn't bad in this
I thought he
game.
was fine. I thought the offense was fine, honestly.
no, I agree.
Defense is the worst. I mean, first team in history to allow points on the first 10 drives
Yes.
of the season.
Yep.
Like, it's the worst defense in football. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Tua could be better, I guess. It's just the after the game shit that's just frustrating as hell. Like the way these guys talk and, go about their press conferences. It's just mad frustrating. Mike McDaniel just, like, you're a leader of a football team, bro. Like, the way he talks like us on this fucking podcast, just saying every 5 seconds. It's, I don't know. I'm baffled by it. Like, I don't really give a shit. Fuck him.
Yeah, I don't really see a way out for this Dolphins team. It just doesn't. I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, if the morale, like, not that morale is going to be great after being 0-2 the way they've lost, but
It's already cooked.
if they weren't talking about each other in the post game, I could see how it could be salvageable. But it's not just a play on the field. It's the locker room. It's the chemistry. It's everything about this team.
You had a
Is just,
players only meeting
I was
after
just gonna say
fucking
that.
week 1.
Yep.
You have Tyreek Hill bitching and complaining all offseason, and you went out and cleaned house and traded all your good players. Why the fuck is he on the football team?
he clearly didn't want to be here.
Why
Yeah.
is he on the football team? You had no problem trading Jalen Ramsey, no problem trading fucking Jonnu Smith. Like, get him off the football team. Get him off the team.
Chris Greer might actually win an award for being the worst GM
I
think I've
promise.
ever seen in my life.
I promise, when they trade him, whether it's next week, the week after, he will not be on this team post-deadline. When they trade him, this
Say it.
team is going to hang 50 points on whoever they
Yes.
play.
I agree.
I promise you that.
You think he's the problem? He's the cancer?
Bro, they hate each other. They all hate each other.
Oh, it's so bad.
I mean, it starts with him. I'm gonna bitch and complain about what Tua and Mike McDaniel say in the post game. He's fucking jumping up and down, crying on the field in the middle of the game, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, you have 1 million targets, you have 100 yards. Like, stop fucking bitching, dude.
And you got like 1 million criminal cases too, so
And $100 million plus in the bank.
right.
And you're 31 years old, like all-time receiver. You know what I mean? Like you know how this game works. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you did it to yourself. You requested a trade
Yep.
and then say, never mind, I don't request a trade. So you did it to yourself. They probably would have traded his ass if he wasn't going back and forth with it.
Right.
It's also on them, though. Like, get him the hell out of there.
100%.
Chris
I
Greer.
completely agree.
Like, I'd love it if they just just said, like, fuck it. Fuck this season. 2-0, we're shutting you down. Mike McDaniel, see ya. Chris Greer, see ya. Tyreek, go back to Kansas City.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Zach Wilson season.
I'd love it.
Yeah.
You got to send the guy to a place that has a culture established and a quarterback that he respects, because he clearly has zero respect for Tua.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
Like none whatsoever. And you have a coach that legitimately cannot instill a culture because he doesn't. I'm sorry, but you walk into a locker room and you're a 6'5", 325-pound human being. Shit, even if you're a 5'10", 180-pound human being, you're going to tell me right now you're walking into that locker room and you are intimidated by Mike McDaniel?
I mean, no, but you're not.
No, you're not. And I'm not saying that every single head coach in the NFL needs to be intimidating, but I am saying that every single coach in the NFL needs to have a demeanor and a presence about them that demands respect.
I was going to say, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, you have to demand respect one way or the other, whether it's what you can do, the kind of, like, if you can motivate people.
Or your resume.
Right.
Something needs to demand respect. And Mike McDaniel has completely lost all of the respect of almost every single guy in that locker room. Just that simple. And because of that, the panic meter is supposed to be out of 10, and it's at like a 20. So This is so far gone. I do agree with Chris that once they trade Tyreek, there is going to be a game that they're going to go off, and the vibes will be immaculate for probably a week. And then after that, the vibes will probably be back down to shit because they get absolutely smacked around by whatever team they play the following week. So Dolphins are cooked.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much just that simple.
Yeah, I mean, we've never really seen a coach like McDaniel, who's like skinny, scrawny, funny guy. Miami wears the gold sunglasses, and
He's a child. He's
just
a man-child.
It's just a gimmick, is all it is. I mean, he's not an NFL head coach at this point.
No.
You know, he's not a leader of men. Like, you see what an NFL coach should be in guys like Tomlin and Dan Campbell and good NFL head coaches, and McDaniel's not that.
No.
He's just there's a type of mold that you have to be, and it was cool for a little bit when the offense was firing on all cylinders, but I mean, you see what the effects of not having control of your locker room could do, and it's just unfolding right in front of our eyes.
No, it's just so obvious that he's a coordinator and not a coach, because even when the offense was firing on all cylinders, it was the whole, the toughness thing was thrown into question, and we say it all the time, it's a Miami team. They ain't going to be tough. That's just not how, you take on the identity of the city most of the times in sports, and Miami ain't tough, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
But yeah, it's real bad down there.
I'd love to have him as an OC.
Yeah,
He'll probably end up back in San Francisco, to be honest with you, one way or another.
possible, yeah.
They just keep getting their old,
Shanahan with Saleh and McDaniel, that would be insane.
their old
And
friends
it's like,
all back.
You all thought you could leave and go do your own thing, and where did you end up? Right back here.
I'm inevitable, says Kyle Shanahan. Okay, so the next team is a team that we thought would have a legitimate shot in the NFC South this year. A team that we thought could potentially turn things around. A quarterback that had a great second half last year, and through the first two games has had his struggles, but also had some flashes of some great football. But the Carolina Panthers still sit at 0-2 with an absolutely trash defense and a great rookie receiver that looks incredibly promising. So there's some positives out in Carolina, but I'm very curious as to where we sit with our panic alarms. And Chris, get us started with a squad that you had a little bit of faith in this offseason.
If half their offensive line wasn't going on IR, I'd be much lower on this. But given the fact that their offensive line is banged up, it's like an 8-9. I feel like Bryce has actually been pretty good. Like, he started off slow yesterday. Like, that sucks, having 2 turnovers early on, putting yourself in the hole. But other than that, like, he was pretty phenomenal down the stretch of that game, honestly. Even last week, I thought he was fine.
Phenomenal's when you're phenomenal in the fourth quarter of a game, you're down already 20 points. Like, I'm not putting stock in that at all.
Gave him a shot to win it,
I
though.
mean, he is Anthony Leggett, who had 8 targets for -2 yards.
Anthony.
Jesus Christ.
You don't even get Xavier.
That's a real thing.
I agree, but when
You get Xavier.
you can't start games the way that he starts. He did it last week against Jacksonville too. You cannot be going into your third year and digging yourself a hole that you can't get yourself out of. You can't do it. And we've saw it with him continuously last year. I know he had a good second half, but it wasn't enough for me to buy stock in this Carolina team at all.
I still like Bryce.
I think there's better days coming, honestly. I'm concerned about the O-line being hurt for the next couple of weeks.
I agree. I also thought there was a very clear shift in how he played from those first couple drives. He was holding the ball, trying to create something. That's how everything happened. Then it was 3-step drop, get the ball out, get rid of it. And Bryce is good when he's on time. And yes, he could create afterwards, but he was very good when he was on time yesterday. And I don't know, man. It's super tough. Like, I get what you're saying. I understand, but he was good. The rest of that game, aside from those 2 drives,
the film is good.
It's not bad.
The film
there were a
is
couple
good.
drops too on that.
The receivers don't fucking help him.
No.
Like, at all.
How do you
I think the film is fine. Like, the turnovers suck. Like, I get it. Like, can't turn the ball over. Like, you need to be better. You can't turn the ball over. That puts the team in the hole that's, like, you can't recover from. You can't start every game down. But, like,
Leggett might be the worst receiver I've ever seen in my life. He's actually just not good at anything. He's the slowest fast guy.
More targets than yards?
Yeah.
Way more targets. I had more targets than he did yards.
I think there's just better days coming for them. Like,
That's the thing about rock bottom. Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna start every game with 2 immediate turnovers. Like, I just think if they do, they do. Like, I'll take my L on that. But I just think there's like a positive regression factor coming there to where they don't start. I mean, that slow every game for the rest of the season. Like,
Ted looked pretty spectacular yesterday.
That looked awesome.
Chuba's looked awesome too through 2 games. Like, so there are positives for the Panthers, but yeah, the Bryce, like you said, getting off to a slow start, but then, like I said, they had a chance to win it at the end, and it sucks because like the Cardinals were begging for them to win this game with all the penalties they were getting down the stretch, and they still couldn't pull it away. But like you said, with the O-line stuff, yeah, I'm probably sitting at like a 7.
It's just you're going on year 3. He's not a rookie quarterback. He's not even on his second year. You're going on year 3. You're expecting bigger leaps and faster starts than 0-2 at this point.
so I just don't understand your logic though with this, that you're so out on Bryce Young because he's going into year 3, but then Daniel Jones has been in the league 6 years and he has 1 good. And you were right. Like, take your victory lap. Like, you got it. Like, he played well against the Broncos. But why is it like this hatred for Bryce that he can never be good? But then we see Daniel Jones have 1 good game in his 6-year NFL career, and it's like immediately like Daniel Jones is turning the Colts around. Like, I don't understand the logic there.
So there really
it's a hatred. It's a personal thing.
It's also to being right. Like, he hasn't won games for the Carolina Panthers. It's just a fact through thus far in his career. I mean, at least Daniel Jones brought the Giants to the playoffs at least one time. What do you mean? Come on! It happened.
As a Giant fan.
So I think I just have a problem. I've always had a problem with the idea that, and I know he overcomes it in some ways, but the stature of your quarterback being this tiny dude doesn't work in the NFL. He could have all the talent in the world. It's not going to work. He would need to defy all the odds, which unfortunately I just don't see happening. It's gotten him this far. He's okay. I'm not going to sit here and say he's like a bad quarterback. He's okay. It's not going to be enough to take this team to the playoffs ever.
Ever.
I don't know, man. They have the worst defense. Like, their defense.
I mean, how long?
I don't think anyone expected them to make the playoffs. So,
No,
like, what's
okay.
the?
There were some people that believed in the Carolina Panthers. Very few, but there were some.
Oh, I believed in them. I got up here and said it, but it was bold. It was tough.
Yeah.
Oh, you did say.
I did say
Wow.
it. Yeah, it was.
Damn.
It was bad.
There were
You're
people.
trying to make a take here. Fuck. You fucked me.
My bad. I mean, make your take, because I was clearly a lunatic for that. But
Good point.
I don't know. I just think. I think there's better days coming. Like, I think.
he was gonna call anyone who said that fucking morons.
No. I just. Like, it's similar to the Bears. Like, this was always like just a developmental year. Like, take a step up, and it hasn't been pretty through 2 weeks. But honestly, it looks a lot like what it was last year, where Bryce Young is actually giving this terrible team a chance to potentially win a game. That's my takeaway from it.
Is Bryce not leaps and bounds better than he was his first season?
He should be. It's his 3rd year.
No, I'm saying, but like he is. He's showing progress, and the team Like the team's getting better, I guess. But like we said, this defense is
But
awful.
I'm not
The
giving
O-line
him flowers over being down 20 points through 3 quarters. I'm just not. Like,
But he's not
I'm
the
not
sole
giving
reason. they were down.
flowers
it's
for
the
that.
Cardinals. It's not. We're not facing.
But he also got them back
a
into the
playoff
game.
team
He got them
The
back.
only
into
reason
the
they
game.
had a chance to potentially win the game was
because the
of
Cardinals
Right.
were playing soft defense down the stretch is what was happening, and they were playing to not lose. Like, I just don't see it. I know we disagreed with this in the off season, and we're still just gonna disagree because I haven't been proven that it's changed.
I'm kind of right down the middle with the Carolina Panthers. Like, when we say panic meter, like it's also relative to their expectations, I guess,
Yeah.
in a way. I think it's at a 7 probably because I really hope that for the rest of the season, I just want to see Bryce play some good football. And if that leads to wins, amazing. If it doesn't, then it just goes to show that this defense really is that bad, which it is. There were very few salvageable pieces on it. I think you just got to have the building blocks around him at this point. And I also don't really think they have that in place yet, in my personal opinion.
Right.
So
like,
yes, I know they drafted Ted High.
but that's
get
fine.
that.
That's good. I thought that was a good pick, and he's obviously a really great player. That's what they needed. I mean, they have no other receiving options. That's the only thing they could have done.
True.
I agree with the pick. I'm not, saying it's a bad pick. It just also comes down to NFL operations. When you draft a quarterback that high, it's a ticking time bomb, right? You have 4 to 5 years to get your team together before you have to then pay said top quarterback.
Yeah.
And they really aren't close to putting anything together. So it really is just you're racing against time here. You have about a year and 3 quarters left to put it together, and they're not close.
Not even, because you might have to make a decision on this guy, like, soon.
Right. if
And
you're
it's
that
not
bad,
it's not a
like,
price
this
thing.
offseason.
Like I could see him maybe getting another chance with another team and doing something.
I mean, maybe he'll get another chance.
He would definitely get another shot.
What I'm saying is maybe succeeding with another team, but I just don't see it coming together with this organization.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Like you said, if they're this bad all year and they end up with a top pick, yeah, they have to make a decision.
I mean,
and-
it's a bad organization to begin with. So
true,
listen,
too.
I'm out on Bryce Young, but mostly because of I don't believe in their system and what they have going. And
The infrastructure.
yeah, I mean, I don't think Bryce is the best quarterback either, but it's not all his fault. There's plenty of blame to go around. It's not just him, but it also is him at the same time.
I'm just like based on my expectations for them. Like I thought we'd see a jump from them, and it's a 17-game season. They have 15 more games to show us they're better than they were last year. Like they were never like what they're 0-2. They're 11% chance. Like they're not making the playoffs. Like my expectations of this team haven't changed. I also went into the season expecting Jalen Coker to have a huge role because he's just better than Anthony Leggett. And I think when he comes back off IR, like he's going to immediately take that job and help Bryce Young because he's just better at football than Mr. Leggett. So I think that'll help.
This is the last team we're going to talk about, and this is a little bit different from the 0-2 situation that we have. This team is 2-0, and this team had a quarterback that can overcome awful situations and has done it in the past. Joe Burrow is once again injured because the Cincinnati Bengals cannot put a competent offensive line in front of the man. So the Bengals are 2-0, but Jake Browning is now their quarterback. What happens next? I don't know. Dean, you tell me. What's the panic meter for the Cincinnati Bengals?
For this season immediately, I mean, you would need miracles from Jake Browning to give them a chance for when Joe Burrow comes back. I mean, Joe Burrow, their offense was all that they had, really. It's not like they had a great defense to ride on. And now without Joe Burrow, listen, I know they won the game despite Joe Burrow being out for a lot of it. But
3 picks from Jake Browning, too.
he didn't look good. So, my panic meter's at a 10 for this team, like they're 2-0. That's such a great head start for Jake Browning to mess up and still maybe have a chance, but 3 picks and you didn't even play the whole game is pretty rough.
They finally did it too. Like they finally got off to a good start in the beginning of the season.
It was ugly.
It was ugly, but they were 2-0. Like all the winning helps all. All that matters is you get the win in the end, especially early in the season. But have you guys seen the Andrew Luck and Joe Burrow edit that's been out there?
Sent it in BallGame, yeah.
Yeah, it's man, it'd be a shame if that's how he turned out. But
It's really where we're headed.
yeah, it's real bad. There was also a tweet going around that said there's 100 million obese people in America. They can't find 6 to block for him, 5 to block for him, whatever it was.
It's so sad.
It's real tough with Burrow because, I mean, if there's any situation for backup to step into and do well, it's probably with Jamar and T. Higgins to throw the ball to. But I'm also at a 10. I mean, Joe Burrow was really the only reason anyone had faith in this team, and now he's out, and it's gonna be ugly without him, and it could have even got ugly with him because, like we said, these were 2 ugly wins against not very good teams. So it's real rough for the Bengals, man. It's tough. They get dealt bad hands, man. They get bad luck.
Oh, they are the most unlucky organization right next to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Chris, what's your panic meter?
Oh, it's a 10. You lost your franchise quarterback for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a new name for turf toe because it just doesn't sound as bad as it really is.
It really
Like,
doesn't.
No.
It sounds like you just scraped your
Right.
toe on the turf or something, and then it's like you're out for 3 months.
Right.
Like what do you mean? How is that even possible?
It's worse than like a bad sprained ankle, which is crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
I think
Worse than like breaking a toe.
he's got to get surgery, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's getting surgery on it. He's out for 3
I don't
months.
know what turf toe is.
Apparently, it's well, I don't know exactly what turf toe is specifically because there's like different severities of it, but
Yeah.
like 6, 7. But the Burrow situation, I think it's torn ligaments in the portion of your foot that connects like your thumb with the base of your foot. I mean your thumb, geez. Your big toe with the base of your foot.
How does that even happen when you wear shoes?
You got a 300-something pound man falling on it or something?
You're hitting the
or
ground with a lot of force.
yanking
I
you,
guess, yeah.
like.
And the turf didn't help, from what some people are saying. Like the turf that he was playing on
That's
didn't
why
help.
it's called turf.
No, I meant like that specific turf. Like there's better turf to play on, something like that. I don't know. People talk.
I think
But-
people need to they need to invest in some real grass fields. Every single NFL team needs to do that.
Yeah, no, it's way past time for that. But those were the teams that got off to disappointing starts. Now, it's not all bad out there. There are some teams that are 2-0. And some of them look better than others. Not all 2-0s are the same, just like not all 0-2s are the same. So the first team we're going to talk about, the team that absolutely lit it up in week 1, the Buffalo Bills.
And lit it up in week 2.
And lit it up in week 2. They came out with a huge comeback win against the Ravens. Then they came out and dominated the Jets. That I had a feeling the Jets were going to hold on in this game, but they did not. They ran all over them. And the Bills showed us in that week 1 game that when you have 17, anything is possible. You're down, but you're never out. On the defensive side of the ball, they picked up Joey Bosa this offseason. He's been awesome for them. James Cook has been awesome for them. Can Keon keep up the second-year leap? I don't know, because he had an awesome game 1. He had a breakout game 1, game 2, not so much, but they were up for a majority of the game, so he didn't really need to do much. They're 2-0 now. Their schedule lines up. They're playing Miami, New Orleans, New England, all at home. Then they go to Atlanta to play the Falcons. Then it's a bye. Then they get Carolina, and then they get the Chiefs. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-0 potentially they could start, and then maybe beat the Chiefs because they're 0-2. So it's really looking up for the Bills. But where are you guys at?
I mean, the Bills are the most obvious of obvious contenders. I mean, they're in that top tier. We all say it. There's 4 teams basically that are of the Super Bowl contender ilk, and the Bills are there. I mean, Josh Allen had to do next to nothing, still got hurt. Did anyone see that picture of Josh in the post game?
Nose?
Oh my God. Damn. And that man went back in the game. He is tough as nails. Josh is the best. Mitch Trubisky came in for a few plays. James Cook ran for 130 plus. He looks super motivated even after he got his money. The Bills are legit. The only fear that I have with this team is the defense when it comes to playoff time. I mean, they went lights out against the Jets, but I kind of warned you that the Jets were not everything that they were cracked out to be in week 1. So I am all in on the Bills. I think they're obviously title contenders, but the same questions arise. Can they just get can they get it done? Can they get it done? That's it. So
What impressed me about the Bills was their win against the Jets, and I know the Jets aren't good. I'm only wearing the jersey in support of my boys because they need it. They don't have anybody else.
Did you bleed on that jersey? Or, like, get ketchup?
Did I?
Damn, boy.
No, it's a new jersey, bro. That sucks.
You fucked it up.
Anyway, they won in a completely different fashion from what they did in week 1. They were able to completely shut down the Jets' run game and then also run all over the Jets. You know, I know the Jets don't have the best defense, but, you know, it was pretty impressive. Josh Allen wasn't overly impressive with his arm. He didn't really have to be. You know, James Cook for going for 130 was something we didn't see week 1 either, and the way that the Bills were able to run the ball was extremely impressive.
So the next team we're going to talk about in terms of how much of a contender they are 2-0. No, they're not 2-0. I apologize. The Detroit Lions just hung 50 on Ben Johnson and the Bears in the vengeance game, and this Lions team, it was a night and day comparison from week 1 to week 2 because it was all bad vibes after the week 1 loss. They got killed by the Packers, and then they come out and, like I said, just had the absolute dominant victory against the Bears. But I think this might say more about Green Bay, but we'll get to that in a minute. They went from Ben Johnson merchants to being better off without Ben Johnson. Gibbs and Amon-Ra showed that they're still those dudes no matter who's calling the plays. Hopefully Hutch can come along, and I think the Lions are pretty much what I thought they were coming into the season. They're a good team. Can they compete with the top teams in the NFC, the Packers and the Eagles? I still don't think so come playoff time, but I mean, what a performance they had. So where are you guys at? Do you think this is legit?
I mean, they put up 50 points and looked back to their selves of last year. I mean, yeah, I think they look legit. They look like they can compete. It was concerning how they played against the Packers, so, you know, that still stays in the back of my mind. But, yeah, they look good. I love watching Amon-Ra and Jahmyr Gibbs play football. I mean, they just play so smooth. They look so great. Like, Jahmyr Gibbs is probably my favorite player in the NFL to watch on Sundays. He's just so fast and so fun.
He's so cool.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great game. There's nothing really more to say about it. They looked like their old selves. Are they contenders? Yeah, they're the Lions.
Yeah.
Contenders to win the Super Bowl?
Is there another thing they could win?
Contenders
No, I
to
was
win
just
a
making
playoff
sure.
game? As long as you don't think they're contenders to win a Super Bowl.
No, that's what he just said.
Yeah, their offense looked like if their offense is back, then yes.
Contenders to win the Super Bowl.
Like I said, I think the Eagles and Packers, I don't think they beat them in a playoff game. I don't even know if they beat the Rams in a playoff game. It's tough for me to go there, but they needed this one. They needed to come out in this fashion.
Yeah, I think they proved to me I was very wrong last week. I'm eating all of the words that I said last week. I think that performance was that good.
I'm not really moved. Jared, go.
You're not moved by 50 points, a 50 piece.
No, I mean it's Jared Goff in a dome. Like congrats on playing well in a dome, Jared Goff. Like he does this. He'll fold when it really matters in a cold game. Travel up to Philly and fold like a lawn chair. So
they were at home.
Yeah. Lions fans were going nuts. Did you see Jared Goff
go
hop into the stands?
That was awesome.
Completely backfired on him.
Yeah.
He said in the press conference, I thought they were going to grab me and pull me over the wall. They didn't. So,
you know, it was a moving performance. Like to say that they're back to them old selves and they still have that in them, which I guess some people maybe thought they didn't have that in them. They have one of the best like groups on offense from top to bottom with the skill position guys. The offensive line is still a good unit. You know, Jared Goff still has the potential to have games like these. So a game like this was always in the cards for them. Dan Campbell was obviously going to be out for revenge against Ben Johnson. Like, kind of knew they were going to dick him down, but I don't know. I got to see it come playoff time.
I still have worries about the offensive line when they go up against a legit pass rush.
I agree.
Like that, they losing Ragnow and Zeitler was apparent in week 1, and then the Bears, we just talked about how much of a disaster of a team they are. So I don't know. What about you, buddy?
I mean, I'm not calling them a Super Bowl contender by any means, and I came into the season feeling that same way, and nothing's changed. I mean, they played a legit Super Bowl contender in week 1, and yes, I understand that you got to iron out all the changes from the offseason, but it was a full-on beatdown. Like, it was not close. It looked like these teams were in two completely different leagues. And then you came out against the Chicago Bears and you did what you were supposed to do. You took care of business, but that doesn't move me. It's the Chicago Bears. Ain't nothing changed. So I'm out on them as Super Bowl contenders, but serious like playoff threats, obviously, yes. I don't think anything really changes there. They're still going to be a good team.
They needed this one for that 11% stat. If they lost this one, it would have been a big concern. So
Actually,
they needed to win this one. So
Both we said going into it, both teams needed to win this game.
yeah,
So
did what they were supposed to do. Did it in beatdown fashion. So
in terms of to put a number on it, if we had a scale, the fraud meter we called it, where are you guys at with the Lions in terms of, because again, keep it relative to expectations. Like all 2-0s aren't the same. Like the Lions are supposed to be a contender in the NFC, so keep that in mind.
So
10.
10, okay.
You think
10
they're-
being a fraud.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're like
Pure
in terms
fraud.
of like being a Super Bowl contender, they put 52 points up. They fooled our good friend Dean here. Like I think that's as 10 as it could get, 52 points. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking that like the Lions are back and better than ever, but this team will never win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff under center. So
Okay.
Jared Goff's not a Super Bowl quarterback.
I completely agree.
I mean, I'm at an 8. I'm at an 8. I think they are pretty much frauds. I don't think they're legit Super Bowl contenders by any means, but I think they're still a good football team, like I said before. So
Yeah, I agree. I'd
Won
put
a
an eight.
playoff
I mean,
game.
Jared Goff's played in a Super Bowl. It's not like he's never been there. He's literally played in one. you
Lost.
know?
it was
Okay,
it
lost.
wasn't the prettiest.
Okay, he's in a way better situation than he was back then. But
That Rams team was damn good.
Is that true?
I think it's true.
I
don't
think
know,
the Lions
man.
last year are better than the Lions this year. Like,
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
No, yeah, I think it's part of the same kind of
You just mean like the core system.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
But
So my panic meter's at, and not panic.
fraud.
My fraud meter's at a. I'll say a 4. I'm not completely
sold.
sold, but I think they'll do it next week. I think they'll convince us again next week. So I'm at a 4.
Does anyone
Okay.
have the schedule up by chance to tell me who is next?
I can get
I'm
it
kinda
real
curious.
quick. I got
If we
sleeper
can.
open
I should have done it
here.
myself. I'm sorry.
That's all good.
It's all right.
They play the Ravens.
Yeah, they go to Baltimore next week.
Oh boy.
I don't think it's a guaranteed L. I think if it's a win, they're right back in that contender conversation.
Stay tuned for our pick'em on Wednesday. I'm sure we'll all let you know what our thoughts are on that game.
Absolutely.
But that one's gonna be a rough one. They could make a statement though.
Yeah.
They could make a statement though.
All right. Next up, we've got the darling of the first 2 weeks of the NFL season. Indiana Jones and the Colts are 2-0. They beat the Broncos in dramatic fashion in one of the calls to end the game that I've never seen. I don't know how many times
Crazy.
you guys have seen that big call. I don't even remember what the name of the call was, but they're also 2-0, and like I said, Daniel Jones has stolen some hearts this season. And for the Colts, what I have written here is every year one team comes out of nowhere. Why not them? You know? Daniel Jones, notably under pressure, in 2024, he was a 37.3 on PFF. They graded him 37.3. In 2023, he was a 39.9. Through 2 games this season, he's at a 63.6 under pressure. He's been not great, but good under pressure, which is saying a lot for our boy Danny over there. Only 1 turnover worthy play as well, according to PFF. Tyler Warren has been awesome. The offense has been centered around him. Jonathan Taylor is, I don't think, talked about enough in the top end of running back conversations. And this team looks good, and they're fun to watch. So, again, in terms of the fraud meter, no one's calling them Super Bowl contenders unless you're a diehard Colts fan. Then maybe you are, and sure, have your day. But where are you guys at in terms of can they keep this up?
So the low end of the scale is that they can keep it up.
Yes.
Yes, the high end would be that they can.
I'm at like a 4. I think this is pretty real.
Okay.
Admit my wrongdoings. I think I underrated the infrastructure of this team. Their offensive line has been pretty great through 2
Yeah.
weeks, which I didn't expect, losing two key offensive linemen. But I guess that's what happens when you have a guy like Quentin Nelson to hold things down. Jonathan Taylor, like you mentioned, has been an absolute workhorse for this team. Defense has been really, really good. Daniel Jones is gonna come back to life. Like,
Wow.
like he's gonna come back down to earth. I mean,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Like,
okay,
I don't
okay.
think this level of play is sustainable. I mean, if it is, then he's a freaking top 10 quarterback in the league.
Yep.
He's just not. But no, I mean, very impressive stuff from them.
I'm not going to victory lap because it's only 2 games. I'm at a 5. I'm at a 5.
Okay.
I don't know what to think about the Colts yet. I predicted last week's game. I just thought it was a trap for the Denver Broncos coming into Indianapolis. They escaped by the skin of their teeth. You know, it really comes down to Daniel Jones turning the ball over. If he could just protect the ball and they can get the offense going with Jonathan Taylor. I mean, you got an elite running back. At this point, what looks like an elite tight end. They have a couple wide receivers and Pittman and Downs. Like, they have a good offensive infrastructure in place. So if he could just not turn the ball over, they'll make the playoffs. That's where I'm at.
I think that Shane Steichen has been in his bag, number one. I think he's been phenomenal to start this season. I'm so happy to see Daniel Jones balling. I absolutely love Daniel Jones and everything he's done for the Giants organization, or at least tried to do for the Giants organization. I don't believe in this football team. I don't. I think they're fraudulent. I think that they are 2 plays away from 2 lucky plays away, might I add. A Will Lutz 42-yard field goal that didn't go through, and a penalty on a 60-yard field goal that probably never should have happened. They are those 2 plays away from being 1-1 and losing to a team that we expected them to lose to at home. I'm not moved by their defense whatsoever. I don't think it's good. I feel like the offense will keep moving the football, but I'm not sold. I'm just not sold.
I mean, a game that you guaranteed the Broncos a win, and Danny came up and put up 28 points on the best. You proclaim them the best defense in the league. That doesn't move you at all?
The offense is very good.
Okay.
I have no doubts that the offense will be good for the remainder of the season. I just don't believe in this team as a serious threat whatsoever. I don't think that
anyone does.
No, I'm not predicting them to be a Super Bowl contender.
Right, yeah.
No, not even as a Super Bowl contender. I think they can win the division. Do I think they will? No. I think that the 2-0 start is a little bit misleading, in my personal opinion. I think that they will be a solid team, but it's going to have to be carried by a great offense for the entirety of the year because I don't think that defense is
But
good
what's
enough.
misleading about it when they convincingly beat Miami, a team which at this point we agree they should have beaten, yes.
Right.
Miami's really bad.
Miami sucks.
Yeah.
Again, that's exactly what I'm saying. Cool. And then the Denver Broncos come into town and they beat the Broncos, a team that we all agree is a contender.
Should be. Well, we don't all agree that they're a contender.
We
I
just
thought
said
they
it
were.
last week.
I thought
we just all
we
said it
did
last
not
week.
all say it. I'm defending them because they did not believe that the Denver Broncos were. I thought the Broncos were a Super Bowl contender.
Okay.
Thus far, I have been proven wrong. So
Okay.
Point being,
I'm thoroughly impressed by the Indianapolis Colts. I'm thoroughly. I mean, we're seeing things that we haven't seen from them because of Anthony Richardson
Yes.
being at quarterback. Daniel Jones is night and day from what that offense
100%.
was, and is actually able to run an offense and throw an accurate ball and not turn the ball over. I'm impressed, and I think they'll make the playoffs.
I agree. I think you hang 28 points on the what we proclaim to be. You said they were the best defense. Everyone else pretty much consensusly thought they were top 3 to 5 defense in the NFL. They were an elite defense, no question about it, coming into the season. And Daniel Jones, I mean, 23 for 34, 316. Steve Austin, a touchdown. And in week 1, he was running the ball too. I mean, seven rushes for 26 yards. It's something. And that's another element of his game that they haven't really even.
2 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah,
week
2
one.
touchdowns on the ground, right? And then they haven't really tapped into. And like you said, Dean, he's taking care of the ball, which Daniel Jones is not known to do. And I expect some regression from him just because he's playing so well. And he'll have some picks. He might fumble because he's done that too. But he hasn't so far, and he's been good under pressure, like I said, which is way more than you can say about his days with the Giants. He was awful under pressure. So you got him an actual offensive line. I think he can run an offense. I get the concerns with the defense, but I mean, do you see Cam Bynum out there with these celebrations, man?
No, Cam Bynum's cool as hell.
He's got the whole locker room
Love
on
him.
his side. In all seriousness, though, I think their defense is solid, and
Sucks that Jalen Jones is on IR now.
yeah,
Charv Ward was out too. He'll be back. Concussion, so he'll probably be back next week, which will help this unit too. I
yeah, for sure.
think they got a solid defense and a solid offense, which is enough to make them a solid football team.
And it needs to be said too, their division. I mean, the Texans are down at halftime. They're a half away from being 0-2. They've got the Titans in there. The Jags don't look too great either. They could totally win this. They should win this division at this point.
What really convinced me, though, I don't know how much of the game you guys watched, but the Colts and Daniel Jones went after Pat Surtain. They were not afraid at all.
Mm-hmm.
They were completely unfazed by Pat Surtain at all. The game plan was go at him and make him make a play.
He got dinked up.
He did.
He got a
But
little
before
injured,
that,
yeah.
they were definitely throwing his way. So, yeah, I mean, that winning that way as well is super impressive.
Well, yeah, no, they attacked Pat. I give them credit for that, but I don't know.
You attack a top 3 corner and come out alive like
Top one
The
corner.
defensive player of the year, yeah.
The DPOY, the reigning
Right.
defensive player
Yeah.
of the year. Yeah.
I'm
I'm just not a believer in this football team until they keep it rolling. Not through 2 games. I've seen flashes in the pan. I don't believe it until I see
What do
it.
they got next week, Tom?
Tennessee, in Tennessee,
You know?
and then in the Rams, at the Rams, Raiders, Cardinals, at the Chargers. So like,
It's a prime letdown spot in Tennessee.
I was
division
about to
game.
say exactly
Or-
that. That Titans game is a trap. That Titans game is
Probably,
a trap.
yeah.
Don't lose that game.
Not to Daniel Jones.
Not to Indiana Jones. You can't trap Indiana
You
Jones.
can't trap 2025 Indiana Jones.
That's a good point.
unless he runs into some
Untrappable.
snakes. Indiana
I
Jones.
mean,
notorious snakes.
as a guy who was super low on this team, like I have to be moved and give them their flowers. Like
Agreed.
whether they make the playoffs or not, I don't know if I'm there yet on them making the playoffs. But I was very, very wrong about this team. So
Yeah,
Agreed.
agreed. No, for sure.
All right, next team we're going to talk about 2-0, the San Francisco 49ers. Now, this sucks because Kittle is out for a few weeks. Brock Purdy, I don't know how long he's out for, but it's at least a couple of weeks. But they won last week with Mac Jones in there. He was okay. I mean, it's a backup. You have to manage your expectations. Christian McCaffrey appears to be back to form. Bob Saleh's getting this defense right. I was not really a big believer in this defense. I thought it would take some time to come along because I do know who Bob Saleh is. I think he can put together a great defense, get the most out of his guys no matter who's there. Nick Bosa's been a game wrecker, and it's looked good for the 49ers. And I know we said they had the easy schedule coming into the season, but I still think relative to my expectations, I think they've been pretty great. So where are you guys at with San Fran? Matt, get us started.
I was impressed with week 1, and the Seahawks look good in week 2, so that makes that win look a little bit better. I love that they got a win with Mac Jones, and Mac Jones, first of all, looked way more than just serviceable in this one. He looked awesome, and yes, it's a bad Saints team. Do not get me wrong, and by the way, Spencer Rattler kind of had a game himself against the Niners defense, which does concern me just a little bit, but I believe that this team at full health can be dangerous. I do still feel that way. What surprised me the most is that through 2 games, they've actually been let's double check this, the second best pass blocking offensive line according to PFF so far this season, which was supposed to be their undoing this year. A team that was supposed to have horrible offensive line play has turned it into some pretty damn good offensive line play. So I got to give credit where credit's due. I am at a 4 with the fraud meter with the San Francisco 49ers. At full health, this team can definitely make some noise, can definitely cause some problems in the playoffs. But the problem is they're not healthy.
They're never
and I'm not
healthy.
sure they will be
Yeah.
at any point. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Well, for that reason is why I'm at a 1. Because if they could put together some wins with all the injuries, I'm only imagining what this team looks like with, I mean, obviously Purdy played last week, but you get Purdy back, Kittle, at some point Ayuk to only bolster. I don't know how much you get out of him, but it's better than, whoever
Whoever else,
Right.
they're picking
Yeah.
up Kendrick Bourne off the street,
right.
brother. right?
I'm sure Brandon Ayuk's better than him at this point. I really like what I've seen. I'm not like it's not the best team I've ever seen, but I also acknowledge they've had a ton of injuries. So I like it so far.
Yeah, I thought they played a good game. It's just hard to make takeaways when you play the New Orleans Saints. Like,
True.
I guess, I mean, like you said, squeaking by, though, a win, despite all the injuries, is huge for the rest of the season for this team. You know, get an extra win under your belt. I guess, like, in terms of the scale, I'm at, like, a 5, I guess. Like, I don't think this team is a Super Bowl contender. I think they have a real shot to win the division, though.
That's what I was going to ask. They can win. They can win the division. Yeah,
I think they have a real shot if they could keep squeaking by games, dealing with all these injuries, and then get their guys back healthy. They have an easy schedule, like we keep mentioning. So I feel like there's no reason they shouldn't be at least in contention to win the division. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a tough division this year. Very, very, very difficult division this year.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Rams look great, too.
Rams do look great. Cardinals are just the Cardinals.
Cardinals,
in my opinion. Like,
I don't know if that you
they're
have
also
them.
2-0. I don't have them.
Okay,
No.
Okay, on that note, the Cardinals stink. Like, I don't think they're a good 2-0 team by any stretch of the imagination. I think the Jonathan Gannon defense is great, but I just think the rest of that team is. I think Kyler sucks. I really do. I think Kyler's a bad quarterback, and that's the whole reason that this thing won't work out. So, but yeah, on the Niners side of things, quick tangent. Sorry, they're going to be a good football team, and yes, they can hang for the division. Do I think they'll win it? No, I think these injuries will catch up to them eventually if they can't get healthy. So,
I don't
that's
know,
where I'm
man.
at.
They're battle tested too. Like these guys have been there, done that. Like all you got to do is kind of hang on by a thread until these guys get back healthy. Like I don't think any of the injuries are too serious to where they shouldn't get back to full strength at some point or another. And I think Mac Jones in his time last year and his one game this year has showed us he's good
Solid.
enough to compete. Yeah, so I think as long as they keep getting by, I don't know if I'll predict them to win the division because I really like the Rams, but I feel like there's no reason this team shouldn't compete for the division and compete for a wild card spot.
Yeah, for
honestly.
sure. If they're
100%.
if they're healthy come playoff time, they're one of the teams you don't want to see come
Don't want
first
to,
round,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, absolutely. This is also a telling stretch. So I'll just drop the next few games for you guys. Cardinals and Jags at home. Then they travel to face the Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's the next 4. So these will be very telling games. And they could lose all of them. With a battered team, they could lose
Could
every
win all of
single
them
one.
too. I think.
You
Yeah,
said
man,
you
you
said
go.
who? The first two were.
Cardinals and
Cards,
Jags.
Jags, and then away Rams, Bucks.
I mean, I think at this point they're better than the Cards and the Jags, and then the next two are, in my opinion, up in the air. But
You come out of that 2-2 going into week 7, 4-2, like you feel good.
They're not losing a Mac Jones revenge game against the Jags.
Good point.
You go 2-2 in those 4, I think you feel really good.
Yeah,
Oh, you feel great, especially because then you start to get guys
I was
back.
gonna say I think
Yeah.
you get Kittle back at that point
Right.
or close to it.
hopefully, yeah.
I hope, man.
Yeah,
It's great to watch.
What
him
is
go
the
skip
status
moves.
on Brock? Is he
I
supposed to be?
think-
Is he week to week?
I think he's
or-
week to week.
yeah. I saw Sleeper has him like scratched for the next 2 games basically when I was
Really?
looking at him. So he's not playing
He'll probably
Sunday.
come back during that stretch too.
Yeah,
I mean, if Mac plays well, I know it's the Saints, but if Mac plays well, there's no reason to rush necessarily if you're winning games.
right. If you're 3-1, you know,
Right.
and Purdy's okay to come back, but you don't feel 100% safe with it. It's like Love with Malik Willis last year.
Yes.
Malik won 2 games, right, and then they were like, oh, you know, hang out until he costs us one.
Until he's Malik Willis.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So
All right, and on that note, the last team I'm going to talk about here on our fraud meter is going to be maybe the best team in the NFL, the Green Bay Packers. I mean, they've been the talk of the season so far, especially after the Micah trade. Jordan Love has been firmly in the MVP conversation. He's through 2 weeks. He's been absolutely outstanding. This defense really has moved me the past couple of weeks. You know, there were some questions going in even post Micah trade, but they're all answered. Micah makes everyone's life easier, and he's obviously an absolute demon out there chasing down Jared Goff and all these quarterbacks left and right. And on the other side of the ball, you got Tucker Kraft, who looked phenomenal on Thursday. And the thing about the offense is I think it has another level because Josh Jacobs really hasn't been all that good yet and all that great yet. And they could totally tap into that. And it's a Matt LaFleur run game with Josh Jacobs. It's a match made in heaven. So they have another level they can get to. And then some other guys on defense, like Edgerrin Cooper's been great for them. Keyshawn Nixon was awesome the other night. And I know we had some questions about their corners, but are the Packers the best team in the league? Or where are they in terms of that?
Oh no, it's still the Philadelphia Eagles at this
Okay.
point. but I would not hesitate to put him at number 2. You know, I think they're fully legit. What's the term we're using right now?
Fraud meter.
Fraud meter?
Yeah.
At a 1. They're not frauds. I mean, they've been on the come up the last couple of years with Jordan Love at quarterback. Yes, he's been banged up, and they haven't had success because of that, I think. With healthy Jordan Love, this team, with or without Micah Parsons, I thought was going to be up there with the contenders, and now you only add one of the best edge rushers in the league. I mean, it's a fun team to watch.
It sure is.
Yeah, I mean, if they maintain this pace, if Keyshawn Nixon keeps playing like that, there's no reason they shouldn't be the favorite coming out of the NFC. I'm not going to say I was wrong about their corners after one game, but that was a very impressive performance he put on.
Yes,
And
it
if
was.
he maintains that level, they should honestly go to the Super Bowl and win it, honestly. That's, like I said last week, that's their biggest hole, their biggest weakness for me is their cornerback room. So if you're getting a shutdown corner like that, I mean, he put on one of the more impressive cornerback games you'll ever watch. Honestly,
Awesome.
if you just watch his all 22, like it was insane. I think he had 6 or 7 pass breakups
Yes,
in that game.
I think it was
Like,
6.
Good
yeah,
God.
he was incredible in that game. So if he maintains that level, there's honestly no reason they shouldn't freaking win the Super Bowl. So yeah, I mean, in terms of them being a fraud, I'm at a 0. They're firmly Super Bowl contenders.
All right.
Yeah, 4 to be exact. But I said last week that I think the Green Bay Packers are the best team in football, and all this did was confirm how I felt about them. They went through the first 2 weeks and took out 2 teams that many believed going into the season could be Super Bowl contenders or at least legit contenders in the NFC. And then they went out and absolutely destroyed both of them. And there was 0 doubts about either one of those games. The Commanders' score looks a heck of a lot closer. They almost backdoor covered, and I know a lot of people were taking the plus 3.5, but it was a beatdown. It was a total beatdown. It was a 3-possession game for much of that game, and it didn't even look close. And like you said, the Packers have another level to reach. I mean, yes, their weapons have been good, but Jaden Reed just went down. Guy was playing through a broken foot and then broke his
Dislocated his shoulder.
shoulder.
No, he
collarbone,
did broke
yeah.
his collarbone. Right, yeah.
Yeah, so then broke his collarbone. The poor guy just can't catch a break. But you also have Christian Watson, and will he ever be healthy? I don't know. Those hamstrings are not built for football.
They
but-
paid him.
Exactly. So there's still another level to reach. You haven't had to force Jordan Love to put the Superman cape on. I'm curious if that is going to be possible for him. Can we see the Jordan Love Superman and all that stuff? But I have no doubts the Packers right now are the best team in the NFL and the most complete team in the NFL, in my personal opinion. So move over Philadelphia. It's Green Bay's time. So
You think they've already surpassed?
yes,
Philly?
I think Philly has glaring issues, in my personal opinion. So
I just don't know if I'd say glaring.
Yeah.
But
I agree. I just have more confidence in the Eagles than I do the Packers. Just truthfully, they haven't shown me a reason to not be in on them yet. I mean, they just won a Super Bowl and they're already back to 2-0, beating the Chiefs again. You know, I just don't see it yet.
It's kind of like the Chiefs last year, which I know the Chiefs are a dynasty, so we give them more grace, but they were winning these close games. They were winning ugly, and people were like, oh, man, it's coming, like the downfall, whatever. But we all would get up here and say, no, it's Chiefs, still the Chiefs. They're going to keep winning, and that's all that matters in the end. And I think it's the same with the Eagles. Are they winning in pretty fashion? No, but they don't have to. They have that respect that they just won the Super Bowl. They can beat the brakes off somebody if they have to. Now they're just preserving themselves, just getting by, winning games.
Getting by going to Arrowhead, beating the
Right.
Chiefs too, by the way, is pretty significant.
I just don't think it's preserving themselves, though. I don't think that's what this was. I think it's they have glaring issues in the secondary that are real. And we just talked about the Packers potentially not having legit corners and a legit secondary. I'm more concerned about the Philadelphia Eagles secondary than I am the Packers secondary. And not to mention, I also think that the Packers have a better pass rush than the Eagles at this point with the addition of
Right,
Micah
Micah,
Parsons.
yeah.
So I am all the way in. I think that, like I just said, the Eagles have a couple glaring holes that I think are going to come to light as the season progresses. And I don't think the Packers really have them. That's how I view the two. That's where I'm at.
For me, it's just the unproven aspect of it. You know, the Eagles have proven to us the last 3 years that they're an elite top 2 team in the league, and the Packers, I think they're right there, but they're not at this point better than the Eagles. Like they just aren't yet.
I think we all are neglecting to acknowledge the fact that the Eagles lost tons of pieces this offseason on their defense. Darius Slay gone.
It's not neglecting because they haven't even lost.
I agree, but you could watch the games and still see that there are problem areas. That's the thing. Like, I've watched week 1 and watched the Cowboys, a team that just got absolutely decimated through the air by Russell Wilson and the New York Giants, actually not do a terrible job against the Philadelphia Eagles. And then on the other side of things, that secondary got torched. And yes, it's CeeDee Lamb, but Dak was dicing them up. That's a problem. That's a legitimate problem. And there wasn't a pass rush against the Cowboys either. And Mahomes just...
Dak was dicing them up until he wasn't dicing them up. In the second
wa-
half, the Cowboys really weren't. I mean, Dak was throwing great balls. Dak played a phenomenal game, but that wasn't an indictment on the Philadelphia Eagles secondary getting torched. The film was Dak throwing incredibly impressive balls into tight windows. Like
Dak's still Dak, and that was probably one of the better halves I've seen Dak
yeah,
play.
my takeaway from that game wasn't look at the Eagles secondary getting torched. Nor was it in the Chiefs game either.
I didn't see a pass rush either. I think they lost too many pieces this offseason. I still think they're the second best team in the NFL. I still believe that. But I just think the Packers have surpassed them. They added more this offseason. The Eagles lost a lot this offseason. Kellen Moore is now gone. I think that does matter. And, yeah, that's where I'm at. I feel like there's been a lot of changes this offseason for the Eagles, and I think that it's going to cause them to take a step back, and Packers took advantage of that.
I kind of agree with Tom, though, to where, like, if you want to say the Packers are the better team on paper, like, honestly, like, have it. I honestly maybe agree with you, but I think the Eagles kind of are entering that Chiefs-like era of they just, like, we could trust them to just grind games out and win games, and when they need to turn it on, like I said all summer about Jalen Hurts, I have full faith that when he needs to turn it on, he could turn it on. We've seen it time and time again from him to be able to turn it on when they need him to. So I haven't seen Jordan Love in any high leverage situation, really. I mean, he had one great playoff game against the Cowboys, but that wasn't really a high leverage situation. They blew him out off the rip. The Packers
ran all over him too.
Yeah, I mean, last year in the playoffs, they were fucked from the jump. I'll give them that. Because they fumbled the opening kickoff, which wasn't even really a fumble, but they were fucked from the jump against the Eagles last year in the playoffs. Was it 2 years ago? Like I said, they beat the Cowboys in round 1, but who'd they play in the second round in 2023?
San Fran.
Yeah.
Barely lost. Jordan Love didn't have a good game.
All right. And then the first time they played San Fran, Jordan Love and Brock Purdy were in an ass off.
Yeah, that was what I was talking about. Yeah.
No, that was
2 years ago. That was when they lost. They won that Cowboys playoff game and then lost.
And then had an ass off. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who they
Oh,
played
yeah, it was 2 years.
this past year? Who was
The
it?
Eagles.
One and done?
Yeah.
Eagles got the bye, no?
No, the Lions got the bye.
Okay.
They played the Eagles. And whoever the fuck.
Yeah,
I think it was
you're right. It's only
Keyshawn
the
Nixon
top
who
one.
fumbled it. They fumbled
Was it really?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it
Opening
was.
I think you're
kickoff.
right. Yeah.
Yep.
Fumbled the opening kickoff.
Yeah.
So they were fucked off the jump.
They were
but
fucked off for it.
Point being, I mean, I'm talking about Jalen Hurts, a Super Bowl champion, a guy who's been to 2 Super Bowls. Like, I've seen him in high leverage situations show up time and time again. I haven't seen that from Jordan Love yet. Like, and I'm not saying he's not capable, but who do I trust more in those situations? Not even just a quarterback versus quarterback thing. I trust the Philadelphia Eagles team more in those situations because they've been there, done that.
I agree. It's my reservations with the Packers really was just Love in those high pressure situations because he can lose you a game just as much as he can win you a game sometimes. Like he makes some bad throws, he throws some picks, and that's the one thing you can't do in the playoffs. And I want to see him not do that. I'm not saying like they can't be contenders until he has a good playoff game, but over a more than battle-tested Philadelphia Eagles team, I'm just not there yet.
He's actually on like an Aaron Rodgers level streak of not throwing interceptions.
Really?
Jordan Love. I think it's like 11 games or something dating back to last
Oh, wow.
season. Yeah. So he's been pretty impressive in terms of taking care of the ball.
He does go on these really long stretches. This is the second time he's done this in his career, where he's had an extended stretch.
They
of
don't
time.
have like 3 weeks where you just can't stop.
Just can't
Yeah,
stop
exactly.
turning it over.
Yeah.
Worried about.
He just got to get it out of his system.
Do
bro.
that in the playoffs and you're screwed. It's one and done.
True, but he's got to get that out of his system, and then they're all
True.
good. It'll happen mid-season. But
No, I mean they're right there though.
For sure.
I kind of like what Dean was saying. I haven't seen like a lack of from the Eagles to take the crown away from them yet.
Agreed.
I'm ready to anoint the Packers.
I don't know, but those flaws haven't like hurt the Eagles yet. That's the thing. Like until they hurt them, I don't know.
mean, like, no, but they got so lucky that they didn't lose the first game of the season because one of the best receivers in the NFL had potentially the worst game of his career. And it's crazy to say that he had over 100. I know that, but the dude had 4 drops. Like, they got lucky. They did. Let's call it what it is. They got lucky. They should have lost that game. CeeDee Lamb should have caught almost, if not all, of those passes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They won. Like I said, they're Super Bowl champions. It's not. It's just not that easy for me. It's the same thing about the Chiefs last year when everyone said they blocked the kick against the Broncos and they won. No, they blocked it because they're a damn good football team. They
CeeDee Lamb dropped those balls because the Eagles are.
Bro,
no, that's
the
not.
fuck
Yeah, I
outta
know.
here.
I know. I thought that in my head too. I'm like, well, that doesn't correlate. But
Like, what?
the point being, like, good football teams just find a way to win. I don't know. Like,
I agree.
Or,
you know,
I guess.
I'd
I don't
rather-
know.
yeah, I don't
Like, this is what I mean, though. You are 4 CeeDee Lamb drops, a Travis Kelce drop that turned into an interception, which was not good defense. It was simply Travis Kelce being fucking ass and CeeDee Lamb being fucking ass in week 1. And then we are talking about an 0-2 football team. And yes, I know they're 2-0, and I get that, and they found a way to win, but they didn't find a way to win. The other team found a way to lose.
you just sound exactly like everyone who talked about the Chiefs last year. Like, if this doesn't happen, if it didn't happen, then they would have won the game. They're 2-0. Like,
I don't know. I even
you know?
look at it like from a head-to-head standpoint. What's the strength of the Packers? Their pass rush.
Yep.
There's one offensive line that can neutralize that. It's the Eagles.
Their O-line hasn't even been great to start the year.
So their O-line's not the best in the league anymore. Are you saying like what's the?
I'm just calling it like I see it right now, is all it is. Their offensive line hasn't been phenomenal. It hasn't been as great as it was last year. And, by the way, part of that goes to the fact that they lost 2 guys along their offensive line, one a Hall of Famer, first ballot, in Jason Kelce, and another in Mekhi Becton, who was great for them last year. So,
They didn't have Kelsey last year.
They didn't.
Kelsey retired last year.
Yeah.
was it?
No.
Oh, my
it was
God,
the-
you're right. Sorry.
Ball no,
But
bro.
regardless,
Ball no.
jeez.
Learn ball.
Mekhi
got it.
Becton,
Learn
regardless.
ball. Learn ball,
That was
dumbass.
bad. That was bad. I forgot. Jason Kelce retired pre the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Sure did.
They actually won a Super Bowl in spite of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, without Jason
Yeah.
Kelsey.
Lost Mekhi Becton. Hasn't played the same this year. They lost some pieces.
I will say, I hate to be that guy, but I think the Eagles also happen to run the most unstoppable play we've ever seen in the history of football.
I hate it. I hate it.
Because let's say they get into 2nd and 2, third and 1, they have 3 plays to just get a first down.
True.
Yeah.
Then you can't stop it. And until the rules in the NFL change or they start calling it a penalty, the Eagles are going to be the best team in the league because of those short yardage situations. They have perfected the art of it.
But the Packers have the Kraft smash. Tucker Kraft gets under center and QB sneaks.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the infamous
Brotherly
tush
shove.
push.
It's the Kraft smash.
It's the greatest.
Brotherly shove.
It's the most effective play we've ever seen in the history of football.
for 1 yard. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's important.
That's all they need.
I mean,
That's all they need.
you get in any 1 yard situation, it's a guaranteed first down, guaranteed touchdown.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And when you can't stop it, I mean, like, there's no. How do you take that down? I mean, they've proven that you can't take it down.
Oh, my concerns with the Eagles would probably be their passing game, if anything. Like, I'm not really worried about their defense. If there was something to be concerned about, it'd be their passing game. But I just think they'll figure it out.
When they've needed Hurts, he stepped up. We said it a
Yeah,
million times
right.
over the offseason. So I agree.
I mean, I just see holes. I see problems, and I think the Packers have very few of them right now. So
Moving on to some fantasy football. We're going to be going over these players' panic meters. How much are we panicking on these players in fantasy football? First up, I'm going to go with the duo of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Obviously, the Joe Burrow injury is significant for them. How do we feel about both those guys going into the rest of the season?
For Jamar, I'm at essentially a 0. I think we saw yesterday that Jake Browning's going to throw to him basically every single time.
Yep.
So I'm not really worried about that. For T. Higgins, I'm worried because T. Higgins is kind of touchdown dependent, and I don't know if Jake Browning's going to do enough to get them down there to give T. Higgins those shots at the end zone. So for T. Higgins, I'm probably at like a 7 or 8, not even a 6, 7, a 7 or 8. I'm pretty concerned if I have T. Higgins.
Yeah, I am as well. In 8 games in 2023, Browning averaged 18.2 fantasy points per game. So just to say, he could be a serviceable backup for them. He's going to pepper Jamar with targets, and Jamar's been operating from the slot a lot this year, so that'll help him out. But, yeah, I'm more worried about T. Higgins. He's not the most consistent fantasy player when Burrow's out there. He sure as hell isn't going to be now. And you go look at those games with Browning. He was in and out of the lineup a little bit, but he had like 2 single-digit points and then 2 25-point games. So it's tough if you have T. Higgins because you don't want to sit him, but you might have to. But then if you do sit him, you're afraid it's the 25-point game. You know what I mean? But Jamar wasn't great with Browning last time, so maybe you use that to try and go trade for him a little bit on the cheaper side. But other than that, I'm not worried about Jamar either. I'll give him a 1, and I'll give Higgins a 7. Yeah.
I don't feel great about inserting T. Higgins into my lineup for next week.
I was just going to say, I think he's a sit until Joe Burrow's back, in my opinion.
That's 12 weeks, brother.
I'd probably say
At
until
minimum.
Jake Browning shows he can
Throw to him?
support him. Yeah.
I mean,
That's basically
Minnesota
what I
and
mean.
Denver are
Yeah.
their next 2 games, so
Yeah.
probably want to explore some other options there.
Because the whole appeal of T. Higgins is Joe Burrow.
Right.
I mean, how many quarterbacks in the league can really support 2 fantasy viable receivers? And I'm not betting that Jake Browning's one of them.
No, probably not.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I'm even a little bit concerned about Jamar Chase, honestly, because looking through the game log of Jamar Chase with Jake Browning,
It's not pretty.
the last few have been pretty decent, but outside of that, it's a little ugly, and I don't feel too good about that. So, yeah, I'm at a 5 for Jamar and probably a 9 for T, 9 or a 10 for T. So, kind of out on the Bengals offense, and I mean, shit, I could
Chase
add
Brown
another
as
guy to
well.
that. I was
Yeah.
about to say, I can add Chase Brown to that because it wasn't even good with Joe Burrow for Chase Brown. Like, that's a scary situation, too, for how everyone viewed him going into this season.
Unless he gets a million dump-offs.
Which he
Yeah,
could.
yeah,
he
he
potentially could. But
that
he's-
offensive line is real bad, which I know for a running back isn't a good thing, but if Jake Browning got to get the ball out quick, he could just dump it off to Chase Brown, like you said.
Screen game's going to go crazy.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, yeah, I had Jamar at about a 3 and Higgins at a 7. Obviously, I would probably bump Higgins up to a 10, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
That's a big jump.
His season might be clipped in terms of fantasy. My next, I have another duo because they're kind of in the same vein, kind of in the same boat. I have Travion Henderson and RJ Harvey. Both have had about 30% snap shares through 2 games. Harvey drafted a little bit after Travion, but as high as Travion was going in redraft, this isn't what you want to see starting off the season. You thought he would get off to a little bit of a quicker start. Ramondre Stevenson had a great game last week. It doesn't really help Travion's timeline in that regard. Like, Ramondre's fighting for his life here, and it looks like it.
Yeah, Ramondre's been really good, which is definitely – I don't really have Travion Henderson shares. I don't have any in redraft. But if you drafted Travion, you were probably banking on Ramondre not being very good. And, you know, like you said, he was drafted pretty high, so you need a more immediate impact for him. But I think both of these guys are great buy low opportunities because if the owners who have them probably aren't happy with them. Like I said, RJ, you can get by if you drafted him and he's not performing well. But Travion Henderson, you drafted him pretty high, so that person probably needs immediate impact. Where if you're sitting at 2-0, you can get a guy that you could sit on your bench for a few weeks. In totality for the season, I'm really not too worried. I think they're both going to be fine. I think RJ ripped off a huge run in week 1. I think he's flashed a little bit, and Travion too.
Dobbins also has looked good. I mean, obviously
Dobbins looked great.
we see Dobbins fall off a cliff halfway through the season, so we'll see how that goes. But he hasn't looked bad.
No, he hasn't. I do think they're going to feature Harvey more. Same with Travion. I mean, they spent the 2nd-round draft pick on him. They're not going to not put him out there. And Antonio Gibson's getting work right now too. Like that's going to be Travion's as well. So
He looked solid too.
I mean,
I can't even lie.
Yeah, sick punt return.
He had a crazy punt return.
But no, he's looked solid too. But in totality, I'm not too worried. I like I said, I'm maybe going to try and go get one of, if not both of these guys.
I think it was a kickoff return.
Was it kickoff? Yeah.
Kickoff because the Dolphins had a punt return.
Yes.
Touchdown, and then they kicked it off, and Gibson immediately got back.
Crazy stretch.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Crazy
cool.
stretch in the
I watched
game.
that live. It was pretty sick.
I'll go before the Travion truther. I will say that I'm at a 4 for Travion and 2 for RJ Harvey. I'm less worried about RJ Harvey. I'm really not worried about Travion Henderson either, to be quite honest. I think Travion will be just fine and will get worked into this offense. But the dreams that people had of Travion being the guy are probably gone. I think this team loves Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre just strikes me as a Vrabel guy in general, and I think he will be involved. I think Travion is going to be the guy that will take away all the Gibson snaps, some of the Ramondre snaps, and will be involved, though. So I'm not worried about Travion. I'm even less worried about RJ Harvey for the reason you just stated. JK will probably fade as the season goes, and even if he doesn't, I doubt they're going to give him a real workhorse workload. So I'm kind of pushing JK to the side a little bit. I'm more worried about the situation in New England.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about either of them. I kind of, as a guy who loved Travion Henderson, I thought come draft season the price got way too steep. Like it was kind of outrageous. I actually don't have him in any redraft leagues because the price to draft him by that time was too high. I have him in a bunch of best ball drafts that I drafted early on in the season when I was getting him in the 5th round, but I guess in terms of 1 to 10, I'm at like a 5, I'd say. Ramondre and J.K. Dobbins have looked great. So it's like for both those coaches, it's going to be hard to take those guys off of the field. But I think as these young kids get more reps and chances to impress, which they're going to get, like their time's going to come, you know. They're not going in the doghouse because Ramondre Stevenson and J.K. Dobbins have been so good. Like they're going to get their chance to shine. So it's just about being good with your reps. I mean, it was, if I had to say who I'm more concerned about, it's Travion Henderson. It was a rough go at the office for Travion yesterday. He was the best pass blocking back coming into the draft, and he put on a disaster class of pass blocking. I don't know if you guys saw that.
3 holding
It
penalties.
was trending on. It was bad.
Pretty disgusting.
It was really
real bad.
And
Wow.
I'd like to just chalk it up to like bad day at the office, like it happens.
You don't think that earns him a spot in the doghouse? Like that's 3 holding penalties for an offensive lineman.
Vrabel ain't going to love that, I'll tell you that much.
Maybe like a little bit,
a couple games.
bit. Yeah, 100%. But you drafted him in the 2nd round, like he's a rookie. Like the only way he could get better at that is if you give him reps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only way he could get better.
The
at it.
problem is they
Sucks you
have
want him out there for the passing downs. Like,
exactly. So I was about to say the problem is the fact that they already have a very good pass blocking back in Ramondre. Like Ramondre is good at that stuff too. So it's like, is Vrabel really going to be super willing? Is McDaniels going to be super willing to throw him out there in those situations and see what happens?
I think so. I think that's why you drafted him.
Yeah. I'm gonna put a number on it. I agree with you. I'm at like a 5 for Travion just because Ramondre has looked great, and like a 3 for Harvey. I mean, unfortunately, J.K. Dobbins just gets hurt every year, and I'm not gonna bank on that. But he's got a lot of miles on. Like he's an old. What is he? 26.
Well, he actually doesn't have a lot of miles on him.
No,
because
I
he's
mean
been
like
so hurt.
My
but
point
yeah.
was like he's an old 26 or whatever.
Yeah,
it is. So,
banged up 26.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not as concerned with him. And for Ramondre, like
Actually, not even that much older than Harvey, but
yeah,
he really isn't.
He
That's
isn't.
the crazy
for
part.
the Patriots, they get Pittsburgh, whose run defenses look like Swiss cheese, and then Carolina after that. So Ramondre might not be going anywhere anytime soon either.
They said the big wheel route that Ramondre caught, that big passing play, was designed for Travion, but he was like Vrabel came out
Makes
and said,
sense.
but he was in the doghouse, so that like really sucks.
Yeah, that's not good. You don't want to hear that.
yeah. Well, stop
Ramondre
holding.
looked great on it too.
Stop
But like you
holding
said, he's still a
Travion.
2nd round pick.
Like,
Vrabel picked
yeah,
him.
not
Like, you know,
gonna not play.
Yeah, I
him, You know
agree.
what I mean? Like some of those Gibson snaps will go to him, and he'll have a chance with those snaps, I think, to eat into Ramondre
Rest,
a little
yeah.
bit.
and it just
He'll-
sucks that you drafted him to be like your RB2, like you said. You know,
Right, like the price was always too steep. You know what I
Agreed.
mean? When there was other guys like an Alvin Kamara,
Yep.
Ken
Mm-hmm.
Walker, all those guys going at that same range. Like, he was never the pick there. Like,
No.
if you drafted him there, like, I don't know what you were expecting, honestly. As a
Yeah.
guy who loves him, like, I think he's going to be great. I think he could still be a potential league winner, especially at the price you could probably get him for now.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably the buy low candidate. If not Brian Thomas, like, those are the two guys that you got to be buying low on. So
I'll throw one more rookie back out there just for shits and gigs. How about Caleb Johnson, man?
you know the answer.
See ya.
Yeah. I mean,
See ya.
Yeah, I mean,
He may never see the field again.
to
yeah.
be fair, you're putting a guy who's probably never done kick
Never.
return in his life.
Never.
on kick return. So
Send him up for failure.
hit it
Yeah.
yourself, yeah.
Especially when the rules are different in college than they are in the NFL.
Yep.
I know they definitely go over it. Obviously, he sits in a ton of meetings and probably isn't paying attention to the rules when they bring them up. But they're new rules. You know, you don't grow up watching how these kickoffs work nowadays. Usually when it hits the end zone for the last however many years, plays dead. Not anymore. Caleb Johnson didn't know that. So the Steelers let go a touchdown because he didn't know he had to pick up the ball.
If anything's going to get you put in the doghouse, it's that. And if anyone is going to put you in the doghouse for it, it's Mike Tomlin for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just not a kick returner, though.
No.
We knew that, and that he was only doing that because they wanted to maybe see what he could, their
Do with
third
the ball
round
in his
pick
hands, yeah.
could do. But you know, obviously he can't do that. So
Yeah.
might even help him get on the field.
I
don't know about that.
Think that,
I
brother.
don't know about that.
I mean,
It doesn't. It's not an indication of who he is as a running back.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you just can't play special teams.
to be fair, the Steelers' run game also has been bad through 2 weeks.
It hasn't
That's
been
true.
good.
Like, Jalen Warren, like, congrats on that touchdown. That shit was epic. One of the better touchdowns you'll ever see in your life. But, like, he averaged 3.4 yards a carry in this game. Like,
That O-line ain't getting pushed.
100%. But also, like, Jalen Warren that's not a specialty. He's running through the tackles. Like, you need a guy who can run in between the tackles. That's why you drafted Caleb Johnson. Like, he's
yeah.
He's gonna get his opportunity.
He's
He
another
will.
guy who, like, me personally, like, I'm buying low on him. You drafted him in the 7th round. Like, people were probably expecting an immediate impact. I definitely was, but like, if I could go get him for, you know, a bum on my bench, like, I'm doing it 100%. He's probably gonna get dropped in a lot of leagues,
He really might.
which, like, when he gets dropped, you add him right away.
Full
Yeah.
fab. If you're in a
Right.
fab league, he's a full fab dump.
Yeah,
Like,
100%. Like, I'm not too worried. I guess, like, got to be worried a little bit because couldn't really get off to a worse start to your NFL
Yeah.
career, but I think the opportunity is going to come. I feel like none of these rookies, other than the guys who were first-round picks, have really had much of a role.
Which we still, I mean, they had okay first games. We're gonna see tonight.
both of them.
Which is a great matchup, by the way. That's
Yeah.
a sick for two first-round running backs going at it. That's pretty cool. But even them, we're not fully sold on yet either, being
Right.
justified where they were.
What they
picked.
were, yeah.
Yeah, it's rookies. That's a gamble with drafting rookies in fantasy football. Like, it could bite you in the ass, and they could be bad because you don't know, or they could be league winners. Like,
Yep.
I think all three of those guys, Caleb Johnson, Travion Henderson, RJ Harvey, like, league winners still in the cards for all three of them.
All right, so I guess I haven't really said mine yet. Travion, I'm at a 6 for his panic meter. I think just Ramondre has really impressed me. I didn't think he would look this good, considering how bad he looked last year. And RJ Harvey, like, for the exact reasons you guys said, I think J.K. Dobbins falls off a cliff at some point, maybe even gets hurt. Not wishing it, just probably happens given his
What's
history.
been happening, yeah.
So at RJ, I'm at a 2 or a 3. So next up, I'm gonna touch on a player who had a really bad showing yesterday down in Jacksonville. Brian Thomas,
Wearing them.
ton of targets. That's not really the problem. It's how he's actually looked playing football. You know, it really concerns you, and the way Trevor Lawrence looks throwing the football to him, which also really concerns you. So what do you guys think?
Floor's yours.
I just can't be worried. I'm at a 0 in terms of my panic meter. My boy needs me more than ever. He's had a rough go on the Twitter this morning. I hope he hasn't been on Twitter today, but the world's turning on my guy. He needs me. I'm at a 0. He'll bounce back. He's too talented not to bounce back. The opportunity's going to be there. They'll Liam Cohen knows that they need to get this figured out to be a successful real-life football team. Trevor Lawrence knows that they need to get this figured out to be a successful real-life football team. The opportunity's not going to go away. They'll figure it out. That's my take on it.
I mean, yes, he's supremely talented. I don't doubt that. It's just, it was weird because some of these were just like business decisions.
He looks checked out
Yes.
in week 2.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
And I don't understand why. I'm sure they'll get it right. I'm sure next week he's going to have a ridiculous game. Like, honestly, I would probably bet on Brian Thomas having a 100-plus yard game. But at the same time, it was just multiple drops, like just a lack of effort. And I am concerned that Travis Hunter is going to start to eat into that a lot more now, especially over the middle of the field and stuff like that.
Well, you know those coaches are looking at that tape and saying, why the hell would we throw you the ball if you're not going to go and try to catch
Yeah.
it, you know?
Yeah, so I'm a little concerned that Travis Hunter is going to eat into this a little bit more. You made a statement that we called pretty crazy before the season. I do think there's a possibility it can happen that Travis Hunter, if they do decide to use him as a full-time receiver, could take over and have the most targets on this team. I don't
Just
think
because
that's
of
a
the
crazy
position he
statement.
plays.
Exactly, yes.
It's a slot role in the Liam Cohen offense. It's not because I think he's better than Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
I think he's really talented, but the targets could be there.
He was the slot for both these games, so like,
And he got his targets.
no, he got his, and Brian Thomas got more targets. I don't know. I
Trav
don't
played fewer snaps.
100%. Well, they're using him on defense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that was crazy.
I just
go.
Go.
Week 1, you have 1 catch on 7 targets, and I saw that this stat was all over the place. Trevor Lawrence in week 1 threw, when he was throwing to anyone not named Brian Thomas Jr., he was, I believe, number 1 in catchable target rate. When he's throwing to Brian Thomas Jr., he was dead last, which could be a Brian Thomas thing, but I think the main concern for a lot of people with Brian Thomas was that he didn't really establish a connection with Trevor Lawrence throughout the season, and I guess that's evident here, but I kind of agree with you, Chris, when you say like they need him to do what they want to do this season, and he still had 12 targets despite these issues, and the ball will still come his way, and he'll eventually get some big plays too, but it was just a rough showing, and now Liam Cohen's coming out saying he's dealing with a wrist injury apparently, but he wasn't on the injury report before the game, so I don't know what's up there.
Just covering for
Yeah.
him. He had one of the worst Twitter mornings on a Monday
He did,
morning that
yeah.
I've ever seen in my life.
No, I agree.
One of the worst tapes, though, if you...
Oh, yeah,
it's not-
100%.
Justified, I think.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Nah, Jaguars fans are saying they should suspend him, trade him.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's
Yeah.
bad.
I didn't see that. I
They're
didn't see that.
dragging it a little bit. I
That's
agree, though.
not
The tape is
justified.
terrible.
It's
Like,
so
the tape
bad,
is terrible.
dude.
The
Yeah.
tape is terrible.
It's so bad.
I didn't know they were doing all that.
No, yeah, they were being crazy.
It was
Fourth
actually
down,
some of
gotta
the
have
worst.
it.
Yeah.
Game on the line, and then the one in the end zone too, where
Yeah.
he just doesn't go get like.
Just
That's
looks like
just-
he didn't want to be out there.
Right, you just can't have that in any wide receiver in the NFL, like you, but especially your number 1 guy. In terms of my panic meter, I'm at like a 7, maybe a 6. I don't know. I still think the talent is there. I think
So you're panicked.
a little bit, yeah. But I'm going to say a 6 because I still think the talent is there, and I believe in the target share, and I still think the Jags have a bad defense, and I think they're going to have a good offense. I think it's going to come along. So I don't think he's going to like lose his role as the wide receiver 1. I don't see that happening. And like I said, the big explosive plays will come. And listen, Liam Cohen, you're the new head coach. Like, this is a test for you as a coach. If your guy's checked out, you got to check him back in, especially a dog like Brian Thomas. So I think he'll be okay. But, you drafted him end of the first round. So this is obviously not the start you wanted and not something you want to hear about one of your top players. But, yeah, I think he'll be okay.
I think my panic meter's at like a 4, honestly. I think he'll be fine. I still think they're going to use him as a deep threat in the offense, which he may have big-time games. He may have some games where he doesn't see 11 targets, and Travis Hunter sees a ton more targets. I do think this is a little scary only because, like I said before, I think Travis is going to be a bit more involved going forward because this game was such a rough showing for Brian Thomas. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens, but I'm at like a 4. I think Brian Thomas is going to be just fine. So
I think them using Travis Hunter and using Parker Washington, who was great in this game,
He was
and Brenton
awesome.
Strange in that role over the middle. Like, granted, like, inexcusable performance. Like, you're playing football, like, take a hit, grow up. But he's not a run over the middle of the field type of
Not at all.
receiver. So, like, maybe and again, not excusing him. Like, one of the worst wide receiver tapes you will ever see in your life. But maybe don't use him like that. Maybe use him at what he was great at last year as, like you said, a deep threat and a screen guy. Like, that's where he was effective. One of the best wide receivers in the league in terms of, making something happen on the screen plays. And obviously one of the best, if not the best, deep threat in the league, not named Jamar Chase or Jamison Williams. Like, and you have other guys who you could have run those routes over the middle of the field. So, like, sure, like, maybe he might not get every single target like he has been these past 2 weeks, but I think that'll open things up for him to be a deep threat. Like,
I don't even
where are
want
the
to see
deep targets? You know
exactly.
what I mean?
I don't even want to see the 42% slot snaps anymore.
Right.
Can that get to 20, 15? Can we just keep this man as an outside receiver and
Right.
just accentuate what he's really good at? He's not the guy that, like you said, should be going over the middle trying to make contested grabs. He creates separation. He will catch a deep ball. He can take a slant to the house from the outside. So
I think Liam Cohen has to adjust in a way.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like, and that's his specialty is, moving everyone all over the formation, putting guys in different situations. But, like, you have to watch this tape. Obviously, as a coach, hold your player accountable. Tell him, like, that's unacceptable. But say, like, hey, I need to change some things when in this offense. And I think Liam Cohen's going to be a great NFL head coach, and I think he will figure this out.
I just think it's really a poor indication of a second-year receiver not buying into a new head coach's scheme when he was successful. He's been successful with it as an offensive coordinator. I mean, already throwing
new
fits.
role for
I
him.
get it, but like already throwing fits over not doing what you want to do on a football field. Listen, he was great his first year, but you're still a young player. You haven't earned anything in this league yet, and you're not trying to catch balls because you don't want to be playing a role. Like, it just doesn't look good as an actual football player. Like, who's gonna respect that?
Yeah, the locker room might be chewing his ass out today.
100%.
If they got leaders, they
should be.
ripping
Yeah, I was
him.
gonna say
Because
they better be.
I
Like-
guarantee you look at any other of those receivers in the room and you ask them to run a route, they'll run the route and they'll do their best to catch the ball. Who's Brian Thomas that you don't have to go and do that? Is basically what it is. In terms of fantasy, I think it'll be fine.
Yes.
I'm at
Like,
like a 3.
I think, like the fourth down drop, like, you got to catch that.
Yes.
The other ones, like, there was the one that was 3rd and 6 that was really bad. The other ones I don't think are as bad as everyone's making it seem, to the point of, like, I don't think Trev gets blamed too. Like, everyone on
sure.
Twitter
100%.
is trying to fucking say, like, Trevor Lawrence, no blame. Like, these aren't hospital balls. If you're a receiver, you have to go make that play. Like, two things could be true. Brian Thomas didn't go and make the play, and these were also hospital balls that could get him killed.
A couple of them definitely were.
Like-
the one that comes to mind immediately is the end zone one that he didn't try to make an effort to jump for. That was going to be a hospital ball. Absolutely was going to be a hospital ball.
He doesn't trust his quarterback, and nor should he, honestly. He really hasn't set him up to
Right.
be successful either.
But at the same time,
Make the play.
you got to try.
You're right.
Yeah.
100%.
If you're going to get popped, you're going to get popped, but you got to try. Like, you're getting paid millions of dollars
and
to
I
do
hate
this.
I hate doing this and saying, like, the word try, like, because we're watching from the fucking couch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he's trying. Like,
Yeah.
there's something, like, as everyone's saying, like, there's something psychologically clicked when he got lit up in that preseason game.
Yes.
Like, that, like you, it's
Oh,
a
yeah,
hesitancy.
Make it a business decision.
I'd word it as a hesitancy rather than a lack of effort in a way. Like, he's trying, you know what I mean? Like, I hate that.
He just doesn't want to get hurt.
I'm not in a position to say an NFL player's not trying. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like,
Comparatively to how hard, though, you see other NFL players play, though. It's not because I think I would try harder. I would
Yeah.
probably fold in the same situation.
Right.
But you see other players go out there and make plays like that all the time.
Especially the dudes like
I just don't think it's like not trying as much as it's just like being conservative. Like, I just feel like that's the
But then is
wording.
that
scared.
considered as not
I
trying in the
guess.
NFL?
I guess.
It's just a weird term. You probably shouldn't say NFL players aren't
Right, like,
trying.
Right,
They're
yeah, that's
definitely.
fair.
I mean, they go to practice every day. Like they get hit for a living. I'm sure they're.
I don't know, like the fan
Fine.
base is just pissing me off. Like that's why I had to wear the jersey today. Like he needed me. Like these, like it's a week
They
2
don't deserve
game.
him.
It's a receiver. They don't. Like it's crazy. It's
Suspend
crazy.
him is insane.
I mean, you can say that all you want, but like, I don't care. You're an NFL receiver. Make the plays or try to.
As
Like
a guy
I don't
who's
want the
not
dude
a
getting
fan
fucking
of the
CTE
team,
and brain damage.
100%. But like as a guy who's a fan, like I've done it. I did it for years. You did it for years with Daniel Jones. Like you get blind to these things and you defend your guy. Like after a rookie season like Brian Thomas Jr. had, having a showing like this, again, it's bad and
Oh, they
inexcusable.
turned on him.
But you got to go to the Twitter and you got to defend your guy. You got to defend
Yeah.
your
It's
guy.
hard to defend.
yeah.
that.
Like
After
I
one
don't care.
one
You got to
game.
find a
Look
way
at all
to
those,
defend
look
it.
at
Say
all
that-
those like Justin
I was
Fields truthers,
defending.
dude.
Yeah, I was
all you
defending
gotta say
Danny for
is
some
there's
of these
better
things.
days coming. That's it. That's all you gotta
Pretty
say.
much, yeah.
Comment on everyone's posts. There's better
be
days
fine.
coming. He'll be fine. That's it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't believe it, you gotta defend your guy. Like especially when it's something like this where it seems like it's mental.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I hope he wasn't, but like
Stay off.
He definitely scrolled the Twitter. You know what I mean? Like
He saw some of it.
right. I think he'll be fine though. I do. I think he's
agree.
too talented to not be fine.
I agree.
Okay. So next up, I have Garrett Wilson. The Jets got completely shut down by the Bills defense. Garrett Wilson didn't do a single thing. He had about 2 fantasy points by the time Tyrod Taylor came in for Justin Fields' concussion. How do we feel about Garrett Wilson rest of the season?
I think I feel how I felt about Garrett Wilson coming into the season. I mean, I think I was definitely drawn in by that week 1 performance. Like, holy shit, this is everything you hoped would happen with, Justin Fields looking really sharp against the Steelers. But it's back to reality, I guess. Like, he's still got, I have it here, he's still got a 40% target share. His ceiling was always capped by a limited passing offense. He's still going to get a ton of volume. I think he'll still score a good amount of touchdowns. Like, he's still what you drafted him to be, in my opinion. And then his next 3 games are Tampa Bay, Miami, and Dallas, whose secondaries have been getting lit up left and right. So I'm not worried about Garrett Wilson. I'm at a 1.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like what you drafted him to be, you kind of knew there would be games like this. I feel like week 1 was, like you said, like the peak of all peaks, and then week 2 was that. I mean, that's as low as it'll be, and kind of similar to Brian Thomas. Like this is still a guy who got a ton of targets. He's going to continue to get a ton of targets. Like there's better days coming. We saw in week 1 what the better days could look like. So I'm really not worried, especially like given where he was getting drafted, like actual draft season, like towards the end there as he fell down boards. Like you got him at a good price. I feel like when he ended draft season going as like the wide receiver 18, 19, where
Considering he gets a 40% target share, yeah, it's pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, it won't stay at 40%. Actually, it might stay at 40%. I don't know.
really
who's
might.
out there.
I really didn't see
I
them
don't know
even
who's out
trying
there.
to throw anybody
I think
else.
I saw what was Justin Fields' passer rating, like a 1.1,
Really?
something like that. I saw something, maybe not passer rating, but something was a 1.1. Like it was the worst game
God.
Justin Fields ever played.
From playing the best game to the worst, that's just the Justin Fields
That's
experience. That's what
literally
Bears
Justin
fans will tell
Fields.
you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. It is the Justin Fields experience. And I am concerned because I understand that, like, you were drafting Garrett Wilson to be your wide receiver 2 in fantasy football, but I don't want my guy being every week I'm going to get either 18 or 7 every single week. I'm just not confident in that. And I'm not confident in Justin Fields. And yes, the target share will be there, but what is the target share worth to me when I have a quarterback that's absolutely fucking ass? And I don't care what he did in week 1. He had all offseason to prepare for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And like I said, week 1 brings some weird things. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. It brought some weird things. Justin Fields looked like a good quarterback. That's not normal. So yeah, I'm concerned. I'm at a 7. I tried to stay away from Garrett Wilson because I couldn't press the button for this exact reason. Tyrod Taylor, if he was the quarterback, I'm going to be honest, wouldn't be concerned in the slightest bit.
Yeah.
I think Garrett would have a great year.
So it was so much on Justin Fields. I don't know if you guys even bothered to watch the game, but I unfortunately had the displeasure to watch the game. Tanner Engstrom didn't call a bad game as bad as it looked. Justin Fields just did what Justin Fields does and held the ball for way too long and was off target on most of his attempts. So, you know, I guess you just hope for a Justin Fields boom for Garrett is what it comes down to. I'm at like a 4, you know. I think we've seen better days from Garrett Wilson, of course, you know. It's concerning.
Right. I mean, you go back to what Garrett Wilson has done in the past. I mean, wide receiver 10 last year. Okay, he had Aaron Rodgers, but 26 and 21 isn't what you drafted him to be. I get that, but I mean, he had Zach Wilson, and you know who else throwing to him out there. He can still put up points in this offense.
Yeah. Is Fields better? But 26 and 21 is not what I'm looking for.
No, I agree.
That's not what any of us were drafting him for. That's not
in the prime of his career.
Exactly. Like, but that's probably what you're going to get, and it's going to be a disgusting way that we get there that you're not comfortable with. And I'm out. I don't want anything to do with that. I think Justin Fields, like I said, and I can't stress it enough, is just really bad at football. And I just don't think he's an athlete. He's not a quarterback. And that's just simply the case.
I just saw him be an athlete, though, and support Garrett Wilson in week 1 and also in 2023 support DJ Moore. Like, I think he could be an athlete and Garrett Wilson could still be good for fantasy football.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it. I don't trust it.
Like, I feel like a guy at that range, there was, like you said, I don't want a guy to be my wide receiver 2 who's going to have inconsistencies. But, like, I mean, I have 10 fantasy teams. I don't know, besides my dynasty teams that aren't real teams, like, I don't have any teams that have a wide receiver 2 that I'm not, like, I don't have guys who have inconsistencies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a wide receiver, that's what you're going to get from any wide receiver, too.
Yeah,
that's why they're a wide receiver, too.
Unless you drafted from the
1-2 turn.
Yeah, from the 1-2 turn and got, like, even Nico Collins just scored a touchdown today, but had 4 points in week 1.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's gonna be volatile. Like, I don't know. Unless you're Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, even Justin Jefferson wasn't that good this week. Like, I don't know.
I just think it's significantly more volatile, and I want nothing to do with that. So, like I said earlier in the year, like, he's had seasons where he's had 170-plus targets, and he's been wide receiver 21 and wide receiver 26.
I just think this offense is so much better than those teams.
I don't know.
I think the play calling is night and day.
Yeah, yeah. You would hope, theoretically. Like I said, if there was Tyrod Taylor, I wouldn't even have a hesitation. Garrett Wilson would have been a 3rd-round pick. Shit, late second. Like, I think there's that big of a gap between the two of them. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't think they're ever going to bench Justin Fields, but
what makes you think there's that big of a gap between the two of them?
I've seen Tyrod Taylor have extended periods of success as a quarterback.
So
then why is he the backup quarterback?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, the reason that he's the backup quarterback, and I'll tell you right now, is because you guys aren't in a position to compete for the playoffs, and the entire organization knows that. Tyrod Taylor is a 35-year-old quarterback, 36-year-old quarterback, and Justin Fields is 25 with immense amounts of talent and athletic ability and physical ability. So the Jets looked at it as, we see all these other teams that are potentially fixing these quarterbacks and turning a guy around. We can maybe do that with this guy. So you're going to take the upside shot and let Justin Fields go through all the growing pains and stuff like that to hopefully, in the future, have a guy that is your franchise quarterback.
Do you think Tyrod Taylor's just better?
Significantly better than Justin Fields. Yes.
I think a lot of people would disagree with that.
I just think they're wrong, man.
I think Justin Fields, is inconsistent, but I mean, when we saw Tyrod Taylor be a consistent starter for the Giants when Danny went out a couple years ago, none of us were impressed.
Tyrod was better than Danny.
Danny was generationally
That's not
awful.
saying much. I don't really
but
know.
I'm just saying, Tyrod had some
implying.
solid games for them. Like, Tyrod has been.
And we just saw Justin Fields go toe to toe with the Steelers last week. You know, like I know he had a bad
but the
game,
difference is we've seen a career of ass from Justin Fields. I've seen a career of mid and some decent
career
performances.
backup is what he is.
But he's not a career.
I've seen a career of mid from Tyrod. I feel like I've seen a career of bad with some mid sprinkled in there. just a longer amount of time than Justin Fields,
I
especially
disagree.
for fantasy.
I think Fields
He's
is
a
worse
really
than
good
Tyrod.
backup, but that's all he is.
I think Fields is just worse.
No, I agree. Actually, no, I
I was
don't.
gonna say, you think
agree.
Tyrod's better?
Nah.
I think they're the same but different. They do, but Fields has more upside. Similar.
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor's years in Buffalo were significantly better
How long
than
ago was
anything.
Buffalo?
10 years ago, bro. I have his stats up here. It's 10 years ago.
And then even then, when he spot started for the
Bro,
Jets
talking
or the
about a
Giants.
decade ago.
Okay,
bruh.
but ready?
Justin Fields was in high school.
Even when he has spot started for the Giants or the Jets, those performances were significantly better than anything you are going to get from Justin Fields.
anything you're gonna get from
Point
Justin
blank,
Fields
period.
is so crazy.
Justin Fields has had good games in his career.
Anything you're gonna see from Justin Fields is so insane.
Because he'll have this one insane game every 6 games, and the other fucking 6 are the worst fucking games you've ever
Okay,
seen in your
I'm
life.
not gonna lie to you. I so don't want to argue about Tyrod Taylor and Justin
That's
Fields.
fine, then we don't
I'm
have to.
so
But
over
Tyrod
this
Taylor's a better
conversation.
quarterback than Justin
Okay,
Fields.
congrats,
So-
buddy.
Done with that.
Yeah, I'm letting you just win the argument because I don't really care. I really don't. Moving on. We're all good to move on?
Yes.
All right. Next up, I have Mark Andrews, who has 2 catches for the season so far. How do we feel?
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm picking other guys up. I mean, I don't
With-
have him anywhere.
With no likely.
Yeah,
either.
that's the thing.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I
that's
didn't
the
even
thing.
realize that,
Likely he's
yeah.
going to come back and be involved in this offense. I don't have him anywhere, but if I did have him, I'm picking guys up 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. The only thing you can say is that it was this bad last year, and then it got better. I still think he has some touchdown upside, being the main tight end in a good offense. But like,
They've been in the red zone a good amount, and they haven't even given him
That's-
a look.
definitely true. So yeah, I'm cool moving on from him. But I'd say I'm at like a 9 for that reason, not quite a 10. But
I'd keep him around.
Yeah,
I, wouldn't go
I
as far
agree.
as dropping him like our good friend Pete did last year
Yeah.
before he went on a rampage. But like I'm picking up someone else
For sure,
100%, and I'm not starting him next week.
no, if you picked up Juwan Johnson or Fannin week 1, like yeah,
They're both better starts than him.
yeah.
Significantly. And then likely, like you said, will return.
Yeah.
He will return. So
I mean, if you drafted Mark Andrews, you made a mistake. You should have known
I
better.
completely
Like,
agree.
what are we doing?
I thought there was a chance.
there
with
was
him coming
definitely
back,
some upside there.
but no, it's been really disappointing considering really he has no target competition at his position. So yeah, I mean, Zay Flowers looks great. I mean,
Zay Flowers does look
He
awesome.
looks awesome.
Tez Walker scored a couple touchdowns last game.
You know what's
That's Joe Cruz's boy.
You know what's crazy though? Somehow Mark Andrews has still had a better start to the season this year than he did last.
He didn't have a catch at this point.
He
last
got
year, right?
blanked last year. So through
Maybe-
2 games.
Maybe it's another. I'm just not. Obviously, we're not starting.
I'm not dropping him. I'm not
No.
starting him, but I only because history could repeat itself. I'm at like a 9.
Yeah, you
Instead
can't
of a 10.
drop him.
No.
Yeah, because he does have touchdown upside. Like
Yes.
he's been a touchdown
We
guy his
saw
whole
this last
career.
year, literally this last.
I mean, if
Literally.
you drop him, you better hope you you picked up Fannin or
Or
Juwan
Likely.
Johnson or pick up Likely, I guess. But
But that's not
Even
even
that-
a guarantee.
even
not
that,
guaranteed,
yeah, I don't
right.
feel-
Yeah, you should have
Yeah.
picked somebody up week 1
if the
you
tight
drafted
end's just
Mark
not part of
Andrews.
their game plan right now, I mean, I don't even know because they look fine,
They look
without him.
great, yeah.
It's not that it doesn't look like they need to be giving him the ball. So
Would you trade the worst player on your bench in a league for Mark Andrews?
yeah,
Yeah.
If I was going to drop them anyway, absolutely.
he still has upside. Like it's Mark Andrews.
I agree.
But on the same
I
token, like if
think-
you're getting
I
that
don't know.
trade, like are you
Less
trading Mark Andrews for a guy that somebody's going to drop anyway? Like probably not. You're probably just
No.
going to hold on to Mark Andrews.
Holding on.
Yeah.
to him, yeah.
Yeah.
What if that drop last year just ruined his career?
It's
Could've.
possible.
I mean, I doubt that made him forget how to run a route. I'm sure he's running routes. I don't know, but yeah,
We'll see.
That's all I got for you guys. That was all 5
All right.
bullet points.
We'll see what happens. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and follow us on all of our socials. The entire Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Houston Texans game has been on while we've been recording this.
Oh, wow.
And then there's a 10 o'clock game in about, from when we're recording this, about 20 minutes. So we unfortunately will not be covering these Monday night games because that would keep us up till 2 in the morning. Thank you very much to the NFL. We appreciate you guys a lot. But yeah, thank you guys again. Leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all of our socials, and with that,
That was
Ball game.